what I think I will drown in pink. After you, I'm afraid of feeling some too soon. Cling to what you're giving. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Paint away day and night, 6 hearts, hope I'm okay. You're alright, goodbye then if you dare. Someone new is pulling everywhere. I'm afraid to let them. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. Nothing is what I think. 'Cause I will drown in pink.
Yo, 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 yo.
Red, red, who's your lover now? Red, red, who's it all about?
Check, 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 check. Let's go, baby, let's go.
Down and begin again. His eyes are broken in, and I don't feel the same.
What up?
Red,
Fuck ice? Alright, down with that.
red, red, who's it all about? Me, I knew. I knew, if I do,
Let's go. Cut the beginning? Yeah, we're getting started early. Let's go.
when you could be them.
go. Dude, how we doing? Let's go. Oh, shit. Came to say hi. All right, let's go. Dude. You see the Gavin Newsom, Nancy Mace entanglement? Oh, shit. Dude, Nancy Mace is popping off. She's like challenging Gavin Newsom to a debate, right? Which, I mean, I think she's just trying to drum up some notoriety. Because, you know, she's sort of obliquely mentioned she's thinking about running for governor in South Carolina. Like, bro, there's no fucking way, right? There's no way that idiot. Dude, she is so thirsty. That is a good word for it. She is like beyond thirsty. Oh my God. Dude, you know, I'm going to go on record and say that she might be the thirstiest woman alive. Okay? I'm serious. She may be the thirstiest woman in all of fucking politics. I shit you not. Right? Dude, she is crazy. Yeah, no, the ice thing at the farm, like in Camarillo, like really? Really? You see that shit? In Camarillo, I mean, let's just start off looking at some of this stuff. Dude, this Camarillo stuff is like crazy, right? Crazy. Dude, what's up, guys? Look at this shit. So, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I like this post right here, where he says, I want to remind everyone what these immigrants did for us. Think about that. During the pandemic, okay, in 2020 and 2021, they went to work. They went to work every day during the pandemic in the fields, in the meatpacking plants, in the food processing plants. They kept us fed during the worldwide pandemic. Here's a shot of them with fires all around them. And they're literally going to work so we could eat. And now they're fucking firing tear gas into them and landing helicopters on the farms. Like, dude, who does that? What are we doing? Are we really that degenerate, thankless, compassionless that we just forget what people do for us and we want to assign some arbitrary, arbitrary sense of citizenship value? Dude, it's nonsense. Like, I want to split the country in half. You know what I'm saying? I want to split the country in half, dude. I literally want to just let the red states fucking go. Like, fuck you. Go have your shit. Go bang your Bibles. Go fucking don't abort shit. Like, shove Bibles up your ass, indoctrinate your fucking kids, do whatever you're going to do, right? Go ahead and fucking make it so there's no nothing. And the rest of us will live our fucking compassionate lives with healthcare and shit. And fuck those guys. You know? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do battle with red states anymore. I just want to set them free. You know? And we could start a program that will get all the red state people out of the blue states. We'll move them to the red states, and the red state people can come here, dude, to the blue states, or the blue state people from red states. We should have a mass migration. You know what I mean? I mean, dude, I feel like that would be the way to go. You know, that would be the way to go. But dude, yeah, this shit is crazy, right? Also, this is not cool either. Some guy like pulling a gun. Dude, do we need to be pulling guns? Like, that's not the way either. Somebody's pulling a gun at ICE. Well, look at these fucking clowns, bro. Right? It's 9 p.m. and these clowns are sitting in a field in Camarillo. For what? Right? For what, dude? Fucking goons, bro. Jesus. Dude, I would love for the West Coast to dude, red states, dude, they can have Texas and Florida pay for their dumb asses. Right? Fuck them. Bro, I'm like so profoundly disappointed in our country, you know? Dude, this is crazy.
To how humane of that is that there are questions of to how humanely this is being handled. You know, whether these people who are maybe here illegally, but you know, whether they're being offered or can be pointed in the direction of a path to citizenship. There certainly is that criticism, but you also have Republicans at the same time accusing Democrats and those on the left of amplifying this rhetoric against federal agents and ICE agents. So we're seeing this finger pointing.
All right, Julia, we may have to step away really quickly here. The situation at the farm has escalated. It looks like a lot of tear gas and whatever this green smoke is as well. And a protester threw something toward the ICE officers there, but a lot of cars turning around and exiting. So it looks like something happened that forced that crowd to turn and run. Rich, are you still?
Yeah, so as we're listening to the radio chatter down here, the fire department actually had to leave this zone and head back to their where they have set up a command center for treatment for the civilians. And they said that they needed to leave the area because the crowd was starting to get a little more hostile. So for the safety of the fire department, they have left this zone here on Laguna Road. And then shortly after that is when we started seeing the tear gas and the flashbangs and the pepper balls being fired back towards the crowd. But
Gee, I wonder why it's getting hostile, right? You know what I'm saying? I wonder why it's getting hostile. Like, people can't even go to work anymore without a federal force attacking them. And for what? What's going to happen to this farm? Who's going to fucking pick the crops after this, right? The MAGA shitheels? Are some MAGA shitheads going to roll in from fucking Timbuktu and fucking tend to the crops? Like, what the fuck are they doing? Why are they trying to kill this farm? For what? To get rid of some people that pay taxes? Right? They don't want their tax revenue? Like, dude, this is so dumb, dude. It's like, what are we fucking doing, bro? 9 iron, yes. 9 iron, like fucking double 9 iron.
Was also picking up items, rocks, whatever I guess they can find on the ground, and starting to throw them back towards federal agents, which is just going to create an even more volatile situation here between agents and the community members. And they at some point are just going to continue to push this crowd further and further away.
See, now what I know this sounds crazy, but what Hugo and what Sky are saying is my next clip that I have queued up, which is this clip from John Thune. Okay, Brooke Rollins is running around saying Medicaid recipients should work on farms. Huh, that's weird. So what does that mean? If you're a Medicaid recipient that doesn't have a job, they're going to put you on a bus and drop you off at a farm, and that's going to become your new life? Right? Brooke Rollins saying Medicaid recipients should work on farms. He says, as she pointed out, we have a lot of able-bodied adults who are on programs. And frankly, one of the things we said as a result of this legislation we passed, there ought to be some reasonable expectations, right? That people who are getting benefits are at least attempting to find jobs. There's certainly a lot of work in the agriculture section of our economy. Isn't that nuts? Like, what the fuck? So a person in New York City on Medicaid, you're going to bust them out to California? Like, dude, we are We are in a fucking ridiculous Handmaid's Tale already.
Brooke Rollins says that the 34 million able-bodied adults that may now no longer be eligible for Medicaid because they can work and they only have to work 20 hours a week is a very small, I think, number of hours to ask for. Here she is talking about where those workers could go.
When you think about, there are 34 million able-bodied adults in our Medicaid program. There are plenty of workers in America. Mass deportations continue, but in a strategic and intentional way.
So let me ask you this with regard to immigration. The president the other day said no amnesty. That's not going to happen. He said it's going to be work programs. We're going to have a work arrangement. So is this the moment, now that the big, beautiful bill is passed, what are you planning to take on next? And is a work program would have to go through Congress and be approved, correct?
Well, I mean, I think there are things that we can do to create, obviously we've got workforce crisis in this country. And as she pointed out, we have a lot of people, able-bodied adults who, are on programs. And frankly, again, one of the things that we said as a result of the legislation that we passed last week is there ought to be some reasonable expectation that people who are getting benefits through government programs are at least attempting to find jobs. And there are jobs out there, as she points out. There's certainly a lot of work in the ag sector of our economy. But I think the American people, Martha, agree with us that when it comes to government programs, when they're taking money out of the economy, out of the pockets of hardworking Americans, sending it to Washington, D.C., there ought to be a reasonable expectation that you're going to do your best to root out fraud, waste, and abuse, that you're going to do your best to ensure that there are work requirements and that there aren't people who are benefiting from these programs who aren't eligible for them, like illegal immigrants, like other people who should be working. Those are all, I think, reasonable reforms that make these programs fiscally stronger and more sustainable for the long term so they can continue to deliver the benefits for whom they were intended.
Dude,
yeah.
And that's what this is all about.
Dude, these guys are such fucking bullshit artists, man. Yeah. Able-bodied, that is such a weird term, right? Like it's like they've created terms for us that just describe us as pawns in their little capitalist parade. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, it's our fucking tax money. I'd rather have my tax money go and pay for Medicaid for the farm workers than to pay for the salary of these fucking cockknockers. You know what I mean? Like, bro, what are we even talking about? Right? This shit is insane. And like this guy said, so would-be Medicaid recipients are going to be bused to farms? I mean, it's a legitimate question. Dude, this is fucking nuts, bro. This shit is nuts. It is nuts, man. Dude, I want off this timeline, right? And here he is again. There's more of their little propaganda, right? More propaganda.
Disabled people will get better Medicaid under this bill because all of the fully able-bodied, the 35-year-old guy sitting at home playing video games in his mom's basement, he's going to have to go work because we put work requirements in place. And so he will not be crowding out disabled people in Medicaid.
So how is he crowding out disabled people? Right? First off, I'd like to show them, them to find us one 35-year-old able-bodied video game guy living in his mom's basement, right? This is like their whole story is all about this mythical 35-year-old able-bodied guy playing video games in his mom's basement, which if they find him, he's a Republican. I guarantee you, if they do produce a 35-year-old guy living in his mom's basement playing video games with no job, I guarantee that fucker's a Republican. I would bet my fucking house on it. Okay, but that's their whole thing. But how are they crowding out the disabled? I mean, what does that mean? Does that mean that 35-year-old video game player is taking speech therapy, or he's going to physical therapy every week to learn how to walk? Is he going to some special school for the disabled? Does he have a home care nurse that's taking care of him around the clock in the basement, feeding him grapes or some shit? Like, how is this person, you can't pay your rent with Medicaid? It's not like it's a credit card where he's taking Medicaid and paying his bills. It's literally medical care. So what medical care is that 35-year-old getting? And nobody will ask them these questions, right? Nobody will ask them these questions. And yes, what Marisol said there, I think is very accurate. What about the able-bodied billionaires that sit around and just do ketamine all day long and don't really do any work? What about those guys, right? The guys that just sit in their offices walking on their treadmill and you know, planning their $50 million weddings. What about those guys? Can we put those guys to work or no, right? Oh, Lordy.
It's a crowded program. It's not the best form of healthcare right now. And so we're going to make that program work better for the people that are truly disabled and needy, not for somebody who's turning down work. And by the way, when he gets a job, he's going to get healthcare with his job. That's better than Medicaid.
He's going to get healthcare with his job. Most jobs don't have healthcare. FYI. Okay. If you work at a small business, you work at a restaurant, you work at any retail location, most jobs don't have fucking healthcare, right? They don't. It's like 40% of the jobs have healthcare. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, bro.
So, you know, these are all components of the bill that they've been lying about. The truth is going to be something that the American people like, because these are all things that President Trump campaigned on, and so did we.
And healthcare in America, even if you do have it, it most likely sucks unless you're wealthy, right? You're paying part of it, okay? You're paying part of your healthcare. You have a huge deductible. You have a copay for everything you do. You pay out of pocket for your prescriptions. And then when you really get sick, most of the shit that happens to you, the healthcare will refuse to pay, and you end up going into medical debt. So, you know, I mean, this idea that you get a job and you get healthcare, it's fucking bullshit. Like, Medicaid is at least good healthcare. It's at least like there's Medicaid here in Oregon for low income people, and it's good healthcare. It's like good. It's like, you know, it's like an actual health plan. You know what I mean? Yeah, JR, I mean, there's no doubt 𝗙cie_𝗍𝗍 has probably never worked a job, you know? You know what I mean? Dude, Trump has serious health issues? All right, let's get a link. Dude, this shit is crazy, right? I want to take health benefits away from Congress. Bro, we should remove their health care. We should. Oh, Lordy. Oh, Lordy. Dude, I'm so fucking pissed, bro. I am. I'm fucking pissed. Yeah. No, I know, dude. I mean, and again, too, the thing about this work requirements, it's, as I've said in the video, it's a smokescreen, okay? The whole idea is like, oh, these people collecting Medicaid are lazy. They're not contributing. They're ruining it for everybody. And the reality is all they're going to do is they're going to instill a bureaucratic system that makes it really, really hard to get Medicaid. And they're doing it. They're changing it from having to renew every year to every 6 months, right? They're increasing the frequency with which you have to go through this paperwork rigmarole, and you're probably going to have to get some type of approval from your employer. And they're going to make it like really hard and complicated to navigate in order to get it. So only the most capable and aware people will be able to jump through those hoops. And then everybody who's, you know, challenged intellectually a little bit, or everybody who doesn't keep right on top of that fucking paperwork is going to fall by the wayside and get fucked. And then they're going to try to deny money to states that actually have a robust system so they can try to undercut the robust systems that blue states have set up. And then they're just going to transfer all that wealth to the rich. And like they do with everything else, they're right. It's like you come up, they cut you open, they attach a vacuum cleaner to you, and they suck all of your wealth out of you and just give it to the richest people that don't need any of it, that don't need anything, you know? And yeah. And so, I mean, it's going to be, it's fucking horrific. It is. It's like the same shit they do when they start having like voter regulations, right? Once they start cracking down on voter regulations, they make it so, oh, you have to sign your name 3 times. And if the third signature isn't over the flap, your vote doesn't count, right? Sorry, right? We make it so you have 12 fucking steps to do after you put the ballot in the envelope, knowing that a bunch of people are going to skip 1 or 2, and then we can void their fucking, right? We can void their vote. Dude, it's brutal. It's brutal when in actuality, we all deserve health care. You shouldn't need to work. You shouldn't have to work to have health care. Everybody. You want me to be a happy, productive member of society? You want me to work hard and do my best? You keep me healthy. If you're not going to keep me healthy, don't expect me to fucking lay out any of my energy for you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you think about it, it's like you won't keep me healthy. So why should I fucking care about any of your shit, right? Fuck you, America. No offense, but fuck you, right? I'm not going to fucking put myself out for you at all. If you're not going to keep me healthy, you're going to tell me that I'm a shithead because I won't fucking take a factory job, right? None of us should have to take factory jobs, right? Oh, man. And in the meantime, look at what they're doing, bro. Look at the budget changes here. $5 trillion increase in the debt limit and a $4.5 trillion in tax cuts. You see that? The debt limit space increase is perfect size to fit that fucking tax cut money in there. They're raising the debt limit so they can give all of it in tax cuts to the wealthy. $350 billion for border security. So they're putting $350 billion into their little like land helicopters at farms secret police force. $25 billion to develop a Golden Dome missile defense system that will be useless because they can't cover the whole U.S. And like, what is that even going to be? Canada's not firing missiles. Kentucky's not firing missiles at Tennessee. You know, Mexico's not firing missiles. It's like $25 billion wasted for nothing. Billions for the Artemis moon mission and the exploration of Mars. Okay, so billions is going to Elon. Cha-ching, thank you. Congrats, Elon. Right, $40 million for his National Garden of American Heroes, which is going to be a double tug event with probably some of the nastiest slave-owning motherfuckers in history. You know what I mean? It's like crazy. This is fucked up, guys. It is fucked up. And what's more, though, is we got to win. We got to win in 2026 before this shit happens. But you ready for this, guys? You want to hear something truly disgusting? Okay? Because you know this bill is unpopular. You know everybody is upset about the cuts to Medicaid. Right now, everyone's like, God damn, the Republicans are going to get their clocks cleaned, right? They're going to get beat up and they're going to lose the House. Well, you know what's happening with the crooked Republicans, guys? You ready for this? Get ready. This is going to fucking, you're going to feel this. Don't, like, get ready to get enraged. But, so in Texas, okay, they want to do a redistricting. Look at this shit, right? Right here. Texas is trying to call a special session to redraw their maps. You know why, guys? They want to redraw. Texas and Ohio want to redraw their maps to cut out blue reps. They want to gerrymander it so they can squeeze out enough blue representatives that make it so Democrats can't win the House. That's what they want to do because they both have a lot of representatives. So the plan is for some of these bigger red states to redistrict and cut out Democratic seats so they'll make up for the seats that the Democrats would win in the election. They want to gerrymander their maps in order to try and fucking prevent a House takeover. Isn't that crazy? Now, obviously, there's going to be legal challenges and shit, but the fact that this is what they're doing, they're so scummy. These guys are so scummy. Now, that doesn't mean that, blue states can't do it too, right? California could certainly redraw their maps and get rid of every red district in California, right? So, yeah, the turnout in 2026, we're going to have to turn out 3x to these fucking degenerate motherfuckers. But this is crazy, okay? They want a mid-decade gerrymander, okay? They do. They want a mid-decade. Normally, you do it every 10 years, but they want to do it Ohio too. Right? Ohio wants to do it as well. Okay? So Ohio is planning. Dude, Mike, let's go, baby. You're terrified for your safety. Dude, I get it. Right? So they are they're planning some redistricting, right? They want to pick up 2 to 4 Republican House seats, and paired with Ohio, look at this shit. And they're just announcing it. Texas Governor Greg Abbott directs the legislature in a special session to run mid-decade redistricting. The goal is to pick up 2 to 4 Republican House seats for midterms. This, paired with Ohio doing the same, could stave off Democrats winning the House. And they're like, make it happen. That's what they want to do. They want to fucking cheat. They don't want to let the people's voice be heard. Okay? They're going to try to gerrymander the shit. Okay? They're going to try to gerrymander the fucking shit out of it. Dude, this is crazy. Yeah. I'm sure Sky is a trans person in Texas. That's very fearsome. Man, this is nuts, guys. This is so, it's a little depressing. But this is what they want to do, right? They're going to try. I believe what's going to happen is this. I believe right now, okay, that this is what they're going to do. And maybe there's even more states than Texas and Ohio. This is probably going to be what they're going to try to do now to avoid the Democrats winning in 2026, right? They're going to, I would imagine, multiple states. But now here, we can do it too. California can do it. Illinois can do it. New York can do it. Minnesota can do it. If you want to play the battle, let's go. Do it before midterms as well, right? You know what I'm saying? Oh, but I guess there's laws. It looks like there's laws in California against it. Illinois. So yeah. So I guess California can't do it. Dude, Minor, thank you for the sticker. Appreciate it. Right? Isn't that crazy? Dude, this shit is wild. So California can't redistrict. Dude, it's fucked up, bro. Craziness. Look at Ohio already, man. Look at fucking Ohio already. How they cluster the cities and shit. And fucking look at these districts. The way this shit is fucking moved. Isn't that nuts? Dude, look at Jim Jordan's district right here, dude. There's Jim Jordan's. Isn't that crazy, these districts? But yeah, they could remove all of these. They could make it full red. Dude, this is so fucked up, right? They're going to take away a couple seats. Dude. Yeah, I don't know, right? I don't know how we get out of this, right? So look at this. It could make them +9. Ohio and Texas could make them +15. Right? They're like trying to stack up and dude, isn't that wild? And cut out the Voting Rights Act. They're trying to, it's like now they're just like, oh my God, let's abuse our power and just cheat. Dude, it's brutal. Mask off. Mask off. It's brutal, man. This shit is brutal. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much all they have, dude. How we can just take a vote to suspend that law? Yeah, no, I guess they would have to. They would have to. I mean, I imagine that if worse comes to worse, Gavin Newsom will do that, right? And you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to put something in there. So Gonzalez, there's not going to be any popular vote for Donald Trump because he's done. Okay, he's already served his 2 terms at the end of this, so there won't be any popular vote there, right? This is about control of the House in 2026. All right, we don't have to worry about Donald Trump because Donald Trump is done. All right, politically he's done, and if he tries any shit of openly like fucking trying to void the Constitution, there will be serious consequences for that. I guarantee you. At that point, it'll be like, we'll have to go get those retired generals, right? All those qualified generals that they fired. We'll have to bring them back for a little military operation. All right. So, yeah, the crazy thing is I'm not sure they can hold it even with this cheating, right? I'll be honest, dude. I think even with this cheating, I don't think they can necessarily hold the House, right? They could maybe take away 2 seats. Even if they take away 2 seats in Ohio and 4 seats in Texas, that would be 6 seats. I think they're gonna get their asses beat. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, but Gorg, he's selling Trump merch because people buy it and because they think that's triggered. But like, he has not violated the Constitution like that. That would, like, so far, every Constitution violation that Trump has done has been a safe one where it's like, oh, we're doing it, but we're not really doing it. And it's like always operated in the gray area. He has not done any like direct refusal, right? Like Abrego Garcia came back, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, a plane in the air after the verbal order, they continued, but then he brought the guy back afterwards and like, you know what I'm saying? So he's been doing this sort of like gray area Constitution breaking. But if he were to try to run a 3rd term, that is like openly flaunting a fucking constitutional amendment, and he would have to flaunt it for an entire year during the election. And like at that point, I feel like we would have grounds for military intervention. You know, that would be grounds for, you know, blue states to get the armies of Europe and Canada and Mexico and form a little coalition to remove him from power. I think we would have total grounds for that. I know probably millions of people would sign up in the military or the National Guard to fucking go on that mission. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, let's be real. If he thinks he's going to go a year with all of us just like, oh, okay, you're breaking this constitutional amendment for the whole year right in front of us. and we're not going to fucking have a military intervention? I'm not buying it, right? I don't think he has the stones for that, guys, right? He's a clown car. But of course he's selling that shit. You know what I'm saying? Of course he's selling that shit. Because his idiot followers will buy it, right? Dude, I mean, if he tried it, I think he would end up dead. I do. I honestly think he would end up dead. I'm quite certain of it, right? I mean, my God, dude, he'd be 82 years old. Like, you don't even realize how useless that guy's gonna be 3 years from now. Dude, he's gonna be fucking barely be able to find his way out of a fucking room, dude. I'm serious though. If he were to try that, he would end up dead. I fucking guarantee it. Yeah, he's not gonna be viable, dude. Dude, by next year at this time, he's gonna be like a babbling fucking nursing home patient. You know? He is. But they are now, right? They are now fucking coming out. But yeah, so they are. Dude, yeah, this is crazy. This is what it's come down to, guys. It's all those arguments for Biden being too old. Yeah, it was never about the age, Breckos, right? It's never about the age. They don't care about the age. They know the president doesn't run the shit. It's all about power, guys. This whole thing is about power. Power and fucking money, right? But dude, this shit though is
that report is take a look.
This shit is not cool.
Take a look at this video right here. It appears a protester fired some kind of gun at federal agents. This happened this afternoon. It was a really chaotic scene at the time.
I hope that's a fucking flare gun or something. I mean, he's obviously not firing shots because people are in front of him, right? But
smoke was being launched at the protesters, and again, it appears a protester fired back with that weapon. It looks like he fired at least a couple of times. We have not heard about it.
But dude, he's not firing a straight gun. This is not a good move, but there are people right there. Was he like shooting bullets over the heads of his buddies? What is this? Like, I don't know. Something about this ain't adding up. First off, it's not cool, right? You want to do a little property damage, right? You want to engage in some protests, spray paint some shit. I totally get that. Okay. But you want to start pointing guns at people? Nah. All right. I'm not into the guns, pointing guns at people. I don't think that's the solution. But again, I don't know that this is an actual gun because look at that. The people are running right here and he's pointing it. So he's obviously not firing it over them. So you have the right to bear arms. The Second Amendment gives you the right to have guns. It doesn't give you the right to fucking point them at people and threaten people with them. That's a crime, right? You're allowed to have guns, right? You can have as many guns as you want. But if you walk out of your house and you point your gun at me for no reason, you're going to have some fucking legal complications with that, right? You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Don't be an idiot. All right? Don't be an idiot. Dude, this shit is crazy.
Do not panic. Do not run. Do not run. Stay calm.
They took your mom?
Dude, they fucking took his mom, bro. Right? Like, what the fuck, dude? His mom. His mom ain't a criminal. What is she doing, bro? Nothing. Dude, it's depressing, bro. You know what I mean? Dude. Like I said, when I showed you that first shot, right, of the people in the fields, right, working the farms with the fire blazing behind them during the pandemic. Okay, during the pandemic, these farm workers like kept us alive. Okay, they went to work every day while we were sitting home, not working or working remotely. They were out in the fields risking getting COVID to work and to get our food. Okay, every year when there's fires, they work with fire burning right next door to them. And they've been doing this for years for not a lot of money. And now we're like landing helicopters in there and arresting them and threatening them and strong arming them. You know what I'm saying? And yes, I mean, this is one of the things that I started noticing really in the pandemic. You know what it was? It's along the lines what Hugo said, where during the pandemic, I ate a lot of fast food. I was blowing up on fucking, on the internet, on TikTok and on Twitch. I had so much money during the pandemic, like more money than I've ever had in my life. Okay. It was like I was having the opposite financial experience of the rest of the world. And so we went to restaurants all the time. We went to fast food all the time. And that's when I really started noticing that it was people of color working in all the fast food locations. You know what I'm saying? Like we, the white people, were sitting home with our credit cards and our assets that we were selling and our whatever money that we were flush with. And it was people of color were fucking working and risking their lives working every day in the fast food places. Like it was really maddening. You know what I'm saying? It was really maddening to fucking see the I don't know, the schism of how the people of color do the work so we have the good lives, right? And we're allowed to work remote. We're allowed to like have all these niceties and they're not, and then in exchange, we're rounding them up and sending them to alligator Alcatraz. They built this country. They're still building this country. They're still like the foundational, engine of this country. And what's going to happen now? They're doing this in California because they're trying to destroy the California economy. Make no mistake, guys. This is a direct attack on their trying to destroy the California economy in order to like get political wins there so they can gerrymander the shit out of it. They're not doing this in Alabama. They're not doing this in Texas. And there are plenty of fucking farms there, okay? They're not doing this in those red states, okay? They're not. You know what I'm saying? He does. He wants to destroy California. Yeah, no, Bogart, I get it, dude. Dude, you have a right to be angry. If you're not angry right now, there's something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? You have a right to be angry. But all right, let's go get into the Gavin Newsom shit. All right? Dude, Gavin. Dude, Newsom and Nancy Mace. Okay, so we got to get into this because fucking, all right, first off, right, is let's go to Nancy Mace. Okay, so Nancy Mace. So you may not know this, but Gavin Newsom has been touring the country. Okay, Gavin Newsom, and I saw Natalie. I saw the thing of the helicopter. We will look at that. I did see that. I forgot to look at that, but we'll look at that in a minute. So anyway, so Gavin Newsom has been going around the country talking to voters. It's pretty obvious that he's planning a presidential run, okay? And so he's been doing a little bit of a U.S. tour, all right? So he posted this thing. Let me find him. Let me walk you through this because this is pretty fun, okay? So he posted a thing for Lindsey Graham, okay? You ready? Here's what he posted, okay? This was yesterday. He posted this. So yesterday he said, happy birthday, Lindsey Graham, right? Great to be in a packed room in your hometown this morning. So he went to Lindsey Graham's hometown and was doing a town hall, right? And going before the voters. And he tagged Lindsey Graham in South Carolina and said, yo, homie, who's coincidentally had been avoiding the voters, like most of these Republican MAGA shitbags, okay? So Newsom is now, going to South Carolina. He's going around the country talking to people. Now, Nancy Mace is from South Carolina. So once she got wind that Gavin Newsom was out there, and it's pretty obvious that he's like planning a presidential run, it's pretty obvious that he is like building a national profile. So Nancy Mace, who's obsessed with clout and her little walk and talk TikToks, so she was like, I want to debate, okay? So after he does that, this is where it gets fun, guys. It really does. Oh, dude, because we know Nancy Mace is fucking crazy, okay? She is crazy. Okay, so then Nancy Mace, let's find Nancy. Okay, so let's go to Nancy's profile. We got to unload all this shit. Because now Nancy is trying to get in on this, okay? So she is all in on her whole, she's talking about maybe running for governor in South Carolina. Okay. That's what she's talking about. And look right here. Okay. She's running on a no income tax run for governor. Okay. She's going to try to promise people no income tax, right? And run for governor. That's the Nancy Mace plan. I mean, it's shrewd. She's capitalizing on this, and she's going to try to use the transphobia and this no income tax, which of course will fuck the poor people. It always does, because they're the ones who benefit the least from no income tax. Okay. But anyway, so Nancy Mace got in on that with Gavin Newsom. And then she says here, she posted this video. She said, don't California my South Carolina. Okay, you ready? This is what happened. So Gavin Newsom goes to South Carolina and is like, I'm talking to the voters. And Nancy Mace is like, don't California my South Carolina. She posts this little video. She looks like shit, dude. She needs to lay off the fucking Ozempic, bro. Or the transphobia or something, dude. She just doesn't look good. But here she goes.
He's the guy, challenging everybody to debate. Yeah. And he's too scared to hit the stage with me. We definitely don't want a California, South Carolina. And I hope like heck that he will accept my debate challenge. I love a good debate, and I would love to take him and his hair gel on.
Okay, so that's her attack on him. Him and his hair gel is what she's on now. Okay, she's talking about hair gel. And so she tweeted, right? Where is it? She tweeted. Where is it? Right here. She said, formal invitation. Okay, Gavin Newsom, let's debate. We will bring common sense policies. You bring, your best hair gel. That's her attack on him, the hair gel, right? Face to face, Rep Mace challenges Governor Newsom to debate during South Carolina visit. Okay, now first off, dude, Governor Newsom should not debate her. Like, why is she even earned the right to a debate? Okay, she's a representative of a tiny rich district on the beach in South Carolina. Okay, she's never been governor. She's never had a fucking big job. All she does is attack trans people. All she's going to do is be like, what is a woman? Right? But you know what Governor Newsom did? You ready? You want to see his response here? So check out his response, though. You ready? Watch this response. He just slayed her. Okay, check this out. Dude, his response just right here. Look at this. He said, because she said, don't California my South Carolina. And he said, so you don't want lower homicide rates, lower gun death rates, lower taxes for working families, lower maternal mortality rate, higher GDP, higher wages, higher life expectancy, free pre-K, free community college, free school meals, and total domination in every major industry. Time for a bathroom break, Nancy. Dude. So he just fired back saying, yeah, you know what? California is like better than South Carolina in every fucking metric. Every one. Like South Carolina is a fucking shithole. Dude, it's struggling. Okay? It's literally, he's like, yeah, right? I'm going to debate you, right? And so what I said, here's what I said, guys. I got into it, and it's not like it matters because none of them are going to see my shit probably. But I did throw something in the hat, right? Where I said, Nancy Mace, once your home state beats California in one metric of success, Governor Newsom will debate you. Until then, try to make your state better instead of just recording a bunch of TikToks, okay? And of course, they're not going to notice that. But I think that's a fair assessment because her state is ass, okay? It is. It's like high in poverty. The poverty rate in South Carolina is extraordinary. They have a problem with maternal mortality. They have a lot of gun violence, even in the rural areas. I mean, dude, the state is not doing well financially, right? It's like, it's just beat. There's literally one area that's really like prospering, and that's her district where like Daniel Island, all the richest people that live on the beachfront, right? On the coast. Yeah, it's a total like shithole. And not only that, but what she would do, right? That all she would do is be like, what is a woman? Like she would just do some bullshit shock shit. Right? What is a woman? What is a woman? Yeah, not you, Nancy. Not you. All right. But so he fucking went to town on her. Okay. He went to fucking town on her. Right. And then look at this. Libs of TikTok posted that guy pulling the gun and said anti-ICE protester just pulled a gun on ICE agents in California. Will Gavin Newsom condemn this? And he was like, of course I condemn any assault on law enforcement, you shit poster. Now due January 6th, right? Fucking A, dude. Isn't that funny? Yeah, so he was busy fucking slamming them. But right here, though, look at this. So he announced it. Texas is using a special session about emergency disaster aid to redistrict and cheat their way into more congressional seats. These guys have no shame. California is watching, and you can bet we won't stand idly by. So, dude, Newsom said, hey, man, if you guys are doing it, we're going to fucking redistrict our shit too, right? Let's fucking go, dude. Dude, yeah, dude. See, Nancy Mace, though, like, the thing about Nancy is the part of the reason why she doesn't deserve a debate with anyone. I'll tell you right now, Nancy Mace doesn't deserve a debate with anyone. And here's why. Because she is disingenuous. She does not take the road of like arguing realistic points. Okay. She is only trying to score the like content points. Okay. Everything she does is just to get a soundbite in order to make some TikTok content to appeal to some low information, bigoted fucking voter base in the redneck part of her fucking state or nationwide, some element of the Trump fucking deliverance casting call, right? That's what she does. She doesn't argue real policy positions. She goes and takes photographs next to the women's bathroom sign and says something nasty about trans people. And people who engage in that type of bad faith behavior, they don't deserve serious debates. You like that, Hugo? It really says it all, doesn't it? The deliverance casting call, right? You know what I mean? It's like there's no reason to offer a legitimate debate to people who engage in that type of bad faith content making. You know what I'm saying? Just absolutely none. And especially not with fucking Nancy Mace, right? Dude, she is a clown among clowns, right? She is, dude. Huge clown. Like, incredible fucking clown, dude. Right? Incredible fucking clown. All right. And that's an insult to clowns. Can I just show you guys? Can I just show you a comment? Let me find this comment from YouTube. Okay, yes, no, you're right, Bogar. They do. They just troll. There's a YouTube comment that I have to show you from earlier today that I thought it really hit me in the feels. Like a lot of times YouTube comments have been great lately, and this one really fucking hit me in the feels. Let me find it. It said, it's really, really charming. All right, so I think it's in this one. Is it in the new video? Let me see if I can find it. Nope, so it must be in this video. Dude, it was so good. If I can't find it, I'm just going to paraphrase it. But I guess I'm going to have to paraphrase it because I don't know where it is. Because there's so many comments. I can't fucking keep through them. But essentially what it said is it said that they had watched a video and they had watched a video where actual clowns are like really upset that people are now calling MAGA, like politicians and MAGA people, clowns because they feel like it's a diss to their fucking profession. Right? They're like, dude, you're giving clowns a bad name because clowns are actually like really compassionate, good people with good politics. And we're really upset that like we're now being associated with these MAGA shitheads, essentially. And I was like, yeah, that's actually fucking true, isn't it? Because that is like the biggest word now, right? Is fucking that we use is clown. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Here's Gavin Newsom in South Carolina, I believe.
What we're experiencing is America in reverse. They're trying to bring us back to a pre-1960s world on voting rights. You know it well. Civil rights, LGBTQ rights, women's rights, and not just, access to abortion, but also access to simple reproductive care, contraceptions. What we're
Dude, isn't that crazy?
In
like think about this. He's in a room that is like filled with, probably 40% black people. Like the black population in South Carolina is large, okay? And it has been historically. You go back to the days of slavery, there were more enslaved people in South Carolina than there were like white people. It was like 2.5 to 1. Okay, crazy. That was the only colony, the only state in America where the enslaved population was much bigger than the white population. So the reality of them wanting to go back to pre-1960s voting rights, civil rights, that's when segregation existed. when black people's vote didn't matter. They couldn't vote, right? Women could barely vote. There were like poll taxes and shit to prevent poor people from voting, right? You know what I'm saying? It's fucking crazy, okay? It is crazy. What is Gavin doing for immigrants? I mean, dude, he's established like the undocumented people in California and the immigrants in California have had the access to the best services. I mean, he's a snake. Yeah, I mean, who isn't a snake though? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's hard. It's hard. You're going to be hard pressed. But at the end, I don't really care. Like, my thing is this, is I'm not voting for Newsom in the primary. Okay. I will say that. But if Newsom ends up being our candidate, I'm going to fight like hell for the man. Okay. Because we have no choice but to get behind whoever wins the primary. Okay. And this is my thing for all Democrats. You ready? I don't fucking care where you are on the spectrum. I don't care who you want. I don't care. In the primary, go for your shit. Okay. In the primary, follow your heart, push your guy across, and I hope you win. Okay. And we will all vote with our convictions in the primary. But at the end of the primary, we are going to end up with a candidate. And I don't care if it's Gavin Newsom or fucking Timbuktu Tim, right? We are going to all rally behind that motherfucking candidate, and we are going to beat the fucking racist, fascist, Republican piece of shit, okay? And I don't want to hear anything else. I don't want to hear one goddamn complaint about, oh, this is the wrong guy, or, oh, they're a snake. Fuck you. I don't care, all right? You're getting on the blue boat, and you're going to fight hard, or you're going to shut the fuck up. Now, until then, you can shred everybody. Okay, you can like love or hate whoever you want. Not going to eat your lunch for that. Okay, but at the end of the day, whoever wins that primary is going to be our fucking candidate, and we're all going to get in their corner, and that's it. No fucking around. All right, no fucking around. And if you don't, then you want fascism as much as the MAGA shitheads do. Okay, and the thing about it is the people vote in the primary. Okay, the people vote in the primary, and then when the people vote, the people have spoken, all right? And so we have to fucking get our shit together, all right? No more fucking around. Was his visit to South Carolina positive or negative? I mean, in general, okay, the thing about Gavin Newsom is in general, he gets a pretty positive reaction, okay? He does. I mean, you know, he's a fucking good-looking, well-known politician, good speaker, right? And he's done some really good shit. I mean, he's got his faults, right? And he certainly is now, like, doing the whole I'll listen and sit down with anybody. So he is definitely not being a snotty, you know, pick and choose guy. And I do believe he cares as well. I mean, I've been following his career since he was the mayor of San Francisco. And he definitely cares. I mean, it's hard because it's weird, okay? Because like, for example, you ready? Let me just give you an example, okay? Here's an example, guys. So on the one hand, he went on Charlie Kirk and he like sort of like took this sort of neutral position of pseudo, like Charlie thought he was agreeing with Charlie about some trans issues. And he did that to reach Charlie Kirk's audience. He sort of buttered him up and went and talked to Charlie Kirk, and everyone got mad at him. But California allowed transgender athletes to compete in their state competitions. And now Trump is going after the state of California, and he is not fucking back down on that. So the thing is he went and talked to Charlie Kirk, but he's also, you know, not yielded law-wise or to Trump's like pushing him around in his state yet. So you know, and so, I mean, I think people are just trying to figure out, I know candidates are trying to figure out how to, I think one of the challenges is how do we fight for everybody's civil rights in a national election and not fall victim to the Republican propaganda machine. Okay, that's the thing that's really hard. okay? Because Republicans have dialed in this propaganda where we don't even have discussions about trans rights. The only thing Republicans are talking about is men and women's sports. You know what I'm saying? And so, dude, it's like, I haven't seen anybody yet in a national election figure out how to conquer that. This is a relatively new tactic that Republicans have taken that is like real fear mongering. And so it's going to be really interesting to see how this works in 2028. You know what I'm saying? And again, though, I am definitely suspicious of Gavin Newsom, right? And so I'm not like stumping for him to win the primary. A part of me feels like he might win the primary despite anybody trying to like fracture his campaign. I'm afraid he's going to win it. And so I'm sort of preemptively trying to get people to if he runs, I think there's a really good chance that he's going to win it, right? Knowing the way Americans vote and how they look at what a president is supposed to look like. Like Americans have an idea of how a president is supposed to be, right? Whether it has nothing to do with policy. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. If he runs, I think he's probably going to win the nomination. So I'm sort of damage controlling about if that happens. Right? You know? But I will say this, though. I feel like we need somebody who can bully back, okay? Which is somebody who's like a Newsom, a 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗆𝗆, right? We need somebody aggressive, right? It could be an AOC. We need somebody who can bully back, okay? What I don't want is I don't want a fucking nice guy. I don't want a Tim Walz, okay? I don't want a aw shucks, let's fucking all get together and sing Kumbaya. You know, no, I don't want that. I want a fighter. I want a fucking, you know what I mean? I want a, like, somebody aggressive, you know? And so we'll see what happens, right? You know what I mean? We'll see what happens. Dude, can you imagine, like, a Newsom AOC? Dude, can you imagine Newsom AOC? That would be a fucking crazy ticket, right? Dude, that would be a crazy ticket. Right? Oh shit. That would be powerful. And then, you know, if he were to win, or even 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗆𝗆 AOC, right? You know, or anybody who else do we have that is a fucking is a badass like that, right? You know what I'm saying? Who else do we have that is like, because I know that Newsom is a fighter, right? And 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗆𝗆 is a fighter. Oh, he's running for Illinois governor again. But who else in the Democratic Party right now that has that fucking a billionaire with AOC? I mean, yeah, that would be fucking complicated, right? Wouldn't it? Right? Who else do we have? Jasmine? Yeah. I mean, I love Jasmine Crockett, but I don't think Jasmine Crockett could win a national election for president. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I think it's going to be a long time before we're going to get a black woman. You know, I don't think she could win, right? I think she would suffer the same problem that Kamala Harris suffered, which would be automatically like 35% of the American electorate thinking she's too aggressive, not smart, right? They throw all the tropes at the fucking black women. You know, it sucks, dude. Oh, I love her. I love her. I'm just thinking about, you know, like, you know, see, my thing is this, guys. You ready? So my thing is I grew up in a small town in Wisconsin. So I know what like that sort of small town middle American voter is like. And I know that, you know, I was worried about Kamala Harris with that. Not that I don't want a black woman to be president. I would love a black woman to be president. But a black woman's not going to be president until the country is ready for a black woman to be president. And I'll be honest with you guys. I feel like what has happened this is just me putting this out here, and it's heartbreaking, but I feel like the way the Republicans have weaponized racism after Obama being president, I don't even know if a black man could win. Like, I don't even know if Obama could win a fucking election again, guys, right? Say there's a third term and Obama gets to come back. I don't know if he'd win. I honestly don't. Like, I think we have been set back. I think they weaponized racism as a result of Obama being president. And ever since then, we've been rolling back. They're trying to get rid of the Civil Rights Act, for Christ's sake. You know? Dude, it's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But Harris, yeah, but Marcy, it's not that simple, though. Because Harris, she felt like she was stuck. Because all the Biden voters, in her eyes, were mad at her. You know what I'm saying? So she was in a stuck position where she can go against Joe and maybe all of Joe's fans stay home, or she fucking sticks with Joe and then the young people stay home. She didn't really have a good path. She was fucked. She was fucked. There's no way she could have pleased everybody because we were so fractured. We were, dude. We were so fractured. Andy Beshear is a great choice. Absolutely. I like Andy Beshear. I think he's a great choice. You know what I'm saying? He is. Andy Beshear. Pete, it's good to see you. Let's go, baby. Peter's in the house. I love Andy Beshear. I think Andy Beshear is a little different. You know why? Because Andy Beshear is not really an aggressor like fucking, you know, an aggressor like Gavin Newsom or an aggressor like J.B. Pritzker. But you know what Andy Beshear is, guys? Don't hate me for this comparison, but Andy Beshear is like the Democratic version of George Bush II, okay? He is. He is like a Southern boy that is like good, nothing, everybody likes him. He's a good old boy, can talk to the fucking rural people, and they're not intimidated by him, but he's also smart and really well-spoken. He's like a smart version of like Bush 2, because Bush 2 was not smart, and he appealed to the uneducated rural voter because he seemed like them. He talked like them. And Andy Beshear has that same quality. Like Andy Beshear is also smart and can speak and can debate, and he's not like George Bush, but he has that intangible quality where small town people feel comfortable around him. And I think that's really important. You know, I think that's really, really important, right? You thought he would have been the VP choice last election? Yeah, so I'll be honest, guys. You ready? I know people hate when I say this, but I feel like I wish Kamala Harris, okay, if I would have been Kamala Harris's campaign manager, right, I would have had her pick Josh Shapiro, and then I would have had her move left, okay? And you would have had Shapiro's voice to assure the Jewish voters that like they weren't going to get destroyed, and Kamala Harris could have moved a little bit left, and clearly, well, of course she's not a Hamas supporter because she's partnered with Josh Shapiro, right? I know Walz's policies were on point, but Shapiro would have been better for the split. The huge split over Gaza would have been much more navigatable if it had been Kamala Harris moving left and Shapiro staying in the middle and being that fucking middle of the road guy. You know what I'm saying? That would have had a much better chance at winning, right? And Tim Walz, though, he's just not good under fire. But she was fucked. You know what I'm saying? She was fucked. But that's just me talking strategy. Okay? I'm not judging here, guys. I'm not judging whether something's right or wrong. I'm just talking about strategy that on how you got to realize that a lot of these pairings and shit are about strategy, about what can win. Because unfortunately, guys, look at America. This country is fucked up. Okay? You know what I mean? So to expect the voters in America to make good decisions based on policy, that's not going to happen. You have to be strategic and realize that most of this country sucks. So how do you win despite them being fucking degenerates? You know what I'm saying? Because if we had somebody who ran on Medicare for all, they probably wouldn't even get a lot of votes. Everyone would be suspicious. Oh, they're a socialist. Oh, they're a fucking communist, right? You know what I mean? It's like because our country sucks. Our country sucks. The people in this country and our history, we fucking suck. We're entitled. We're lazy. We vote on vibes and not policy. We vote against our best interests. We won't bury the hatchet in order to do good things for people. We're constantly infighting and stirring drama, and we fucking, you know what I mean? We suck, right? So you have to strategize on how to win, even though everybody in America makes piss poor voting decisions. I know it sucks, but it's like the reality. You know what I'm saying? Like we suck, dude. Dude. Right? Oh, shit. Dude, we do. But anyway, though, right? And no, we, you know what I'm saying? We just fucking, right? Dude, burying the hatchet. You like that? I like that expression, dude. I'm a Midwestern boy at heart. So the giant meteor, I'm voting for the asteroid in 2028, dude. That's my vote. Asteroid 2028, dude. I'm going to tweet that right now. Right? Oh shit, bro. There it is. Asteroid 2028. Dude, if you want to fucking light the tweet, there it is. Dude, there it is. Oh shit. Yeah. Dude, I wish we weren't in this mess. Dude, you want me to dance? All right, we can do a dance party goal, right? We'll do a dance party goal. Here we go. 10 light blue or higher. Fucking we'll set it for 1 hour. There it is. Let's go. Oh, shit. Dude, Peter. No way, dude, with the $50 sticker. Peter, you're crazy, bro. Let's fucking go, boss. There's the goal. 1 hour. Dance party. 10 super chats. And they're not stickers, though, guys. They're super chats. Dude, I love that sticker, though. Thank you, Peter. Let's fucking go, baby. Oh, shit. Where'd all my windows go? Hold on. All right. Dude, Peter, you're fucking crazy, bro. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. All right, let's go, baby. Dude, let them feel the pain of getting what they want. Yeah. Dude, Nurse Joy, let's go. Dude, Borrow Bad, let's go, baby. Dude, we are gonna fucking dance like nobody's watching. Dude, let's go. Dude, is Mike Lee, the prude whisperers, leaving? All right, later. Good night, boss. Twitch ended up being good. Dude, yeah, no, YouTube has been great. I'll say this, guys. I've actually been happier since coming to YouTube. You know why? It's not like Twitch was bad because I've been streaming on Twitch, but the vibes are better. Like Twitch is a whole bunch of gamer shitheads coming in and just being negative, trying to piss on the parade and be trolls. And we don't have any of that here on YouTube, you know, and you know, there's no ad revenue on fucking Twitch, and there probably won't be ad revenue even if I go back and multi-stream to Twitch because I'm considered an extreme political voice. Dude, Minor Bird, let's go. Right? You know what I'm saying? Fucking. You got YouTube Premium? Yeah. I did get banned, Naomi, for 30 days. That got shortened, but I got banned for, like, somebody talked about something Hassan said back in 2020. And I said, oh, he's not entirely wrong. And then I also said that if police aggress on people, it's okay to burn down the police station. And both of those things Twitch had issues with. Let's go, Anne Marie. Let's go. Appreciate you. Right? They had some issues with that. But dude, I'm not fucking changing what I say. Dude, Bogar, let's go. I stand by my convictions. I don't care if Twitch says that was wrong. I'll be honest though, guys. I think it was right. I think what it was is it really had more to do with me going off on the CEO, because about 10 days before that happened, I got in an argument with the CEO of Twitch at a Twitch event where I called him out about the advertising and about the way they're handling politics and the way they're red pilling the site and how inconsistent they were. And I fucking held his feet to the fire and wouldn't give in. And he was very upset about that. And then a couple days later, my emotes got audited, and then they deleted a bunch of my emotes. And then a week later, they banned me, right? And so, and I've been talking the same shit for like 2 years, okay? The shit I talk about, I've talked about police stations many times on that site and never had an issue. You know what I'm saying? And do they work? All right, let's go. All right. Fucking A, dude. Still sorry about that? Don't be. I'm fucking happy. I don't care. I'm not afraid to get fucking banned on Twitch. Fuck them. They don't fucking own me. They don't own me. You know what I mean? They don't own me. Like, they can go to hell, dude. Twitch can go to fucking hell, right? They don't fucking own me, boss. They are not the, right? What do they say? They are, what is it from Boogie Nights? Here's how I feel about Twitch. You're not the boss of me, right? You're not the boss of me, Twitch. Okay? Don't you forget it. Twitch ain't the boss of me. All right, there's our goal. I'm going to put the goal up there so we can see it. Let's go. Twitch ain't the boss of me. All right? They're not. Fucking no regrets. Where's my 100K button from? That is from gaming. That is from Acting Like Tommy, my gaming YouTube channel. Right? So I was a gamer that blew up. It was like 700K on TikTok and 100K on YouTube and like 30 some on Instagram and Twitter. And then I gave all that up to start a brand new political channel with fucking 20 viewers. Right? Dude, let's go, baby. Right? I fucking, yeah, which is good. I mean, Fortnite was fun. It was just an accident. I'm not really a gamer. I was just a dude who loved Fortnite, but I'm not really a gamer. But I'm funny. I'm really entertaining to watch play Fortnite. Oh, shit. Dude, it's entertaining. I mean, those sites are still up. You can go to Acting Like Tommy on YouTube or on TikTok, and you can find the content. It's still there, right? I've left it all up. On YouTube, I like privated a lot of the videos, but I left I basically left on YouTube like some of the big key highlights of the gaming videos. And then I also left the shorts, and then I left some videos like after I quit gaming for a while. I did like this Sunny V2 kind of like newsy Inside Edition sort of like investigative videos. I did a couple of those, and now I'm doing this. But I mean, this is a lot harder work, but I like this. I never really liked the gaming. Like, I liked playing the video game. Being addicted to Fortnite was fun and a lot of dopamine, and it felt good to play the game. But what was crazy about it was the content didn't feel good. It felt like, I don't want to say it felt beneath me, because that's not the right thing. It's not like I'm above gaming, but it felt like all my passion and energy in video games was like a little bit of a waste of my passion and energy, that like I have, like, my energy could be used for something that, is helping civil rights or as opposed to just something that people laugh at while they're playing video games, right? That's what it was. I felt like my energy needed to be used. It would be like, if you have somebody that can carve gold, right? You don't want that person to be carving like gold figures for, fucking visitors to the bathroom at a fucking truck stop, right? You want them to be carving gold somewhere in a museum, or, you know what I mean? It's just, I felt like that my energy could be accomplishing more than just being the guy who is getting laughed at while playing video games, right? But yeah, you care about pursuit of knowledge. Yeah, no, I get it. I care about like societal impact, right? And I care about, you know what it is too? Here, let me tell you another thing. And this is another thing. So my secret superpower, if you ask anybody what your superpower is, right? Everybody's got one. So my superpower is I can take all the world's negativity and I can take it in. I can feel it. I can absorb it. I can stand in front of it and get targeted by everybody. And I can absorb all that negativity and turn it into like hope and joy and a belief that like fucking good things are coming, right? And so in politics, my personality is really good because I can be out here digesting all this shit, but like helping navigate us to fight and stay passionate, right? But in the gaming world, I tried to do that, but they're all like 13 and they can't comprehend like the gift I'm giving them. So I was consistently giving these gamers a gift that they were not capable of using. I mean, some of them were the precocious ones, but for most of them, they weren't receiving my energy in a way that was helping them. They were just mad at me all the time, right? And they hated me like a lot because I was giving them, I was throwing pearls before swine, and the swine were like, dude, we don't want pearls. We want slop. And it's like, well, I don't have any slop to give you. I'm sorry. And so that's like fucking like part of the thing. Don't explain yourself so much. I like explaining myself. I think it's important to do that. I hope you guys like think about explaining yourself too, because that's how you get to know like your motivations and shit. And I think that type of self-reflection, like I like sharing that with you because I think it's important for us to constantly be self-reflecting. Like that's how you grow. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't grow and you can't become newer and better versions of yourself without sort of assessing things, And so I like doing that, right? I like doing that, but I don't do that to get accepted. I do that to like be aware, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't really, I care about acceptance, don't get me wrong, but acceptance is more something I seek from my son and from my partner. I don't seek acceptance from people in an online chat because I don't even know you guys. I know you a little bit in a chat way, but you're a verbal processor. Yeah, no, I'm a verbal processor too, Lila. Absolutely. That's why I'm a streamer, right? If I wasn't a verbal processor, this would be a terrible job, but I'm 100% a verbal processor, right? Pretty much a superpower. Let's go, Peter. Yeah, no, I talk a lot. I fucking talk a lot, dude. It's hard though. Like it's weird because like I try to be careful of not seeking acceptance online, right? Because I think that's a little dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like we talked about this with Joe Rogan the other day about audience capture. And that's how that shit happens, dude. Privacy, let's go. Dude, that's how audience capture happens, guys. Like I think it's important for online creators to not seek the acceptance of the people in their audience, You know what I mean? It's like really, it's hard because it gets a little, it can get a little complicated, right? You know what I mean? Because you do it, like it's real easy. You post something online and it gets a lot of likes, and then you start posting that type of content to get likes. And like you can, you know what I mean? Like you could fucking, like for example, you ready? Let me give you an example on YouTube right now. So one of the core components, there's a couple core components of what I've been doing on YouTube. Okay. Component one is like TYT and holding Anna and Cenk and looking at other left-wing creators, right? So that's part of my component that a lot of my audience really loves, okay? They love to see me take Anna and Cenk to task, okay? And then another component is me like MAGA hog watching and fucking ripping MAGA people to shreds. They love that part too. And then my passion stuff of me covering like Epstein or Trump or the breaking news is sort of hit and miss. Some of that stuff my audience on YouTube really likes. Some of it just doesn't really go anywhere, right? But so those are like 3 core components. But now I like covering Anna and Cenk, okay? I do. I like watching them and dissecting them because I feel like it's important to take away their power over the messaging where they try to rat fuck the Democrats. But even with the audience capture, I could run into a place where I no longer enjoy deconstructing Anna and Cenk, but my audience might want to keep seeing me do that. So then I would run the risk of, do I continue half-heartedly watching Anna and Cenk and trying to be funny, trying to make videos for my audience, or do I try to branch out and do something bold that I can be more passionate about? And I'm always going to do the branching out, you know what I'm saying, whether it's good or bad, right? I can't really, I get really stifled and sort of hurt with the audience capture stuff. That's what's really fucking hard. But it's real easy to fall into, though. I mean, I fell into it on Fortnite TikTok, where I literally just made kind of the same video all the time, right? That's pretty much what I made. I made 2 videos on TikTok, right? When I was a gaming streamer. One was me like beating some kid and then talking shit about him and being like, fuck you, I'm way better than you. And the other one was me doing something really dumb and either dying or miraculously surviving. And I made those 2 videos over and over and over and over again on TikTok with a snappy title that would make people angry, and they get my comments and they comment all day long. And it was really easy to do. Took me about an hour a day to, you know, right? To make, you know, $1,000 or more a month, right? For an hour a day. And it was so easy, but it was like not satisfying. You know what I'm saying? It was not, there was no challenge. There was no satisfaction. You know what I mean? It's like, and so I do need the challenge. I don't know about you guys, but I need constant challenge. Oh shit. One more, baby. Found me because you were watching the Vanguard. Oh, let's go, dude. Dude, let's go, KB. That's awesome. One more, baby, and we dance. Oh, I'm going to start getting limber. Oh, shit, baby. Oh, shit. Thought I was kind of weird looking in a good way. All right. Dude, I am weird. Breckos. Oh, shit. Dude, that's a sticker, Breckos. We love you, and thank you for the sticker. But it has to be a super chat. Sorry. Dude, I wish they fucking didn't do that shit. But thank you. Let's go, baby. You're teasing us. Oh, shit. Give it? Dude, I'm giving it. I'm waiting until I see a 10 of 10. All right? Oh, I'm getting limber, though. Have to check the MAGA dude getting his ass beat at the ICE standoff. Dude, I don't know that I want to see somebody getting beat up. Oh, shit, Breckos. With the big guns, let's go. All right, there it is. Now we dance. All right, all right. Oh, shit, I'm going to have to get a strobe light. Shoeless dance. Sockless, shoeless. All right, limber up. Limber up. Dude, I'm just sticking with the same song because it's legit. Everybody likes the song. Sounds a little bit like the Strokes. Limitless? I can't, Bradshaw. I can't right now play any of my music. I would get copy struck, even though it's my music. I would get copy struck and the stream would end if I played Limitless. Because I have a company that manages that, and they're very good about it. They fucking... Anybody, you know what I'm saying? They content ID anytime somebody uses my songs. So yeah, so we're stuck with epidemic sound. But that is a kind of a goal though for the winter, is for me to talk to the company and see if I can get an exemption for my channel, because I put my own music in videos and gotten exemptions for it. So I should be able to get a full channel exemption, right? And what I used to do when I first started YouTube, right? What I would do is I was not monetized, but I would put my own songs in my videos. So then they would get copy claimed by my fucking copy company, right? My distro company. So then I would be making money off my unmonetized YouTube channel, right? I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? It wasn't much, but it was a way to at least monetize all my videos until I was monetized, right? It's a little sneaky way around it, right? You got to love it, dude. Not like I had enough views to really make any money, but, All right, here we go. All right. We're going with the deja vu. You ready? You ready to dance? Here we go. Let's go. That shit just fucking works me, bro. Woo. Oh, Lord. Oh, fuck, bro. Dude, I like to get down, though. Need that echo? Yeah, baby. Dude, I love me some Echo. You were dancing there too? Good, good. Dude, ball bad. Let's go, man. Thank you. And I saw one back there too with fucking Pendulous. Thank you, guys. Oh, shit. That song is from Epidemic Sound. It's called A Little Deja Vu by Stephen Carlin. Right? It's a good tune, man. And no, Luke, I don't know who that is. So, like, when I listen to sort of punky stuff back from my day, it's like GBH and DOA and the Vandals, right? It's like shit like that. That's what my fucking punk adventures are like from back in the 80s. I really like GBH. Oh, and Fear, right? Like Let's Have a War and fucking City Baby, Attacked by Rats by GBH. I like that stuff. Oh. Oh shit, bro. Dude, that was a fucking adventure, man. All right, so let's look at the helicopter. We'll look at that real quick, dude. This shit is just heartbreaking, man. Right? This fucking shit is so crazy.
Protest what's going on here, and just
look at this.
Who have showed up to vehemently protest what's going on.
Dude, this shit is fucking just so whacked out, man.
Protesters who have showed up to vehemently protest what's going on here, and just in the last few minutes, Customs and Border Patrol helicopter has entered the scene here. They are landing in the middle of the farm as we speak. It does appear that they were not planning to be here as long as they have been, and so this helicopter that you're looking at here, guys, apparently just made a run over to Van Nuys Airport for some cases of water, which is what they're bringing into the scene here. So there are a whole team of ICE agents at the farm. There are other agents down there as well as the National Guard police.
Fucking clown show, bro.
Laguna Road as this enforcement action takes place right here, going into hour number 4 this afternoon. Again, a major situation transpiring here in Camarillo, and it does not appear that they were intending to stay this long.
Isn't the farm private property? Yeah, but it doesn't matter, Bradshaw. Like feds, like private property, and especially with ICE, it doesn't matter. There's like, you know what I'm saying? Like normally there's a due process thing. Like if you're near the border, right? It's about having suspicion. If they suspect that there are illegal people on the property or whatever, they're allowed to fucking do whatever they want. They have significant like freedoms that regular police officers don't. You know, it's funny, Peter, seeing you talk about Vomit Launch. I never saw Vomit Launch, but I think that was Larry Crane's band at Satyricon. I used to play Satyricon all the time when I was rocking and rolling. Dude, it is, man. It's a standoff, and it's really shitty, too. You know what I'm saying? It's like, for this shit, for me, you know what it is, guys? It really comes down to this. Comes down to, let me see if I can find the picture. There was a picture. This one right here. All right. This is farm workers in that part of California during the pandemic. Okay. They're wearing fucking headgear and shit. They're out there risking their lives while fires burned all around them. And they did that for all through the pandemic. Right? They were risking themselves of getting sick, okay? And they were fucking feeding us for 2 years, right? And what did they get in return? They're getting attacked, right? That's what they're getting. In return, they're getting attacked. Helicopters, raids. Fucked up, bro. Dude, it is some fucked up shit, man. It is some fucked up shit, bro. Like, we're thankless. Dude, I just feel like the American karma is so bad. You know what I'm saying? The American karma is just so, our karma is so, like, bad. It's so destitute. You know what I mean? It is. It sucks, dude. Like we're gonna pay the price for this for a long time, right? There we go. That's what our tax dollars are paying for right now. Oh shit. All right. Let's go, baby. Oh, look at this. There's one other one that I want to show you, right? Is while we were on the Gavin Newsom fucking thing, was let me show you the other tweet, because obviously he was taking shots at Nancy Mace. And this one is really good too. Right here. You see this? Because Nancy Mace, right? She had her little formal invitation to a debate. She's trying to rile up a debate with fucking Gavin Newsom, even though she doesn't deserve it. She's not serious. She's just a troll, right? But look at what his response was. His response was, "This you? Or is that one of your burner accounts?" I honestly can't tell these days, because Nancy Mace accused of making staff use burner accounts to hype her up. Isn't that crazy? Dude, and she actually did that. I mean, a lot of her ex-staff have come forward saying a number of things about her. Some of the things we found out about Nancy Mace is that, one, she's like a control freak, okay, who is obsessed with like her social media following. She has burner accounts that she requires her staff to get on to like put messages underneath and shit. Dude, it's crazy. Like, she's a psychopath. She is a psychopath. She is like, you know, it doesn't have to be real for her. It's just got to appear. She's all about the appearances of like fame and power. It's psychotic. I love that. She does sound like a teenager on DeviantArt or like Tumblr, you know? You know what I mean? And Gavin Newsom, though, is just fucking like slamming her. You know, he's been slamming her for 2 days now. Right? Fucking crazy. You know, your life is eternal darkness. All right. All right. It's all about social media. Yeah. I mean, it's all about social media if that's your forte, right? But it is important. That's where the narratives get created. Right? So, Fred, you're going to have to, if you share the video, you're going to have to share it in Discord. Right? All right. Yeah, man. All right. Dude, Nancy Mace. She is crazy. Dude, look at her, bro. Look at her. She just looks fucking psychotic, dude. She does. She looks like a psycho, man. She used to be so normal, guys. 5 years ago, I was literally thinking, oh my God, Nancy Mace is like, she's like bringing sanity to the Republican fucking party. You know what I mean? Like, I thought she was literally bringing sanity to the Republican Party, guys. And now she's like crazy. She's just lost it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? She's just lost it. Fucking absolutely just fucking bonkers. She is certifiably bonkers. All right, I want to look at some of these fucking MAGA voters. We got 8 MAGA voters who are regretting their votes after witnessing the ICE raids. All right, this is interesting. And it's BuzzFeed. It's the website that fucking got rid of Benny Johnson for plagiarism. Except I'm going to have to like, hold on. I'm getting killed. The ad blocker is killing me. Hold on. I'm going to have to fucking close that page and let me fix my ad blocker. Okay. Dude, politicians are supposed to take care of people, guys. Right? That's supposed to be what it's about. Right? It is. It's what it's supposed to be about. Right. Where is it? Where's that link? Let's go back there. Dude, I don't know where the content is on this. I see the headline. Sorry, Jenny sent me some links, but I'm not seeing where the fucking content is. It's not this video. Oh, here it is. Oh, here we go. Dude, the ads on this are crazy, bro. So the MAGA crowd are fucking upset about the ICE fucking raids, right? Bro. The Destroy the Government Party got elected. Yeah, I don't understand, right? I'll be honest, guys. I don't understand why people voted for Trump. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand because he literally said, you know what? I'm going to destroy the whole government. I'm going to gut all the agencies. I'm going to fucking destroy the whole thing. I'm going to burn it all to the ground. And I'm going to attack all my enemies. And he openly said that for months, that he was going to attack trans people and every one of his enemies, and talked about like being a dictator. And there was Project 2025 and people still voted for him. So, like, you know what I mean? 77 million people still voted for that fucking clown, bro. That's on us. You know what I'm saying? An insurrectionist, like, who said, I'm going to burn it all to the ground. Like, bro, why? How? You know what I mean? And look at this person. This person is somebody named Destiny, who said, I honestly did not vote for deportation or any of that. I voted for my so many other things. I voted for my so many other things. Okay. I think we find the problem with Destiny, why Destiny's vote. I voted for my so many other things that I felt would benefit my little family, and it has been fulfilled / is being fulfilled. I don't even know what that means. They voted for the things that benefit their little fucking family. All right. Ryan Garcia, of course, right? He fucking, you know, remember him? Okay. He fucking spoke out against the ICE raids, but he was part of the reason why he got elected. This fucking boxer. Remember Ryan Garcia? He was part of the sort of the Logan Paul manosphere crowd, right? And he said, I may have voted for Trump, but I can't stay silent about what's happening with ICE in LA. These aren't just illegals or statistics, they're people. Hardworking immigrants, especially Mexicans who pay taxes, raise families, build our communities, and are part of the people we love. Ripping them away from their homes is not just policy, it's pain. We can have borders without losing our humanity. Now, what's crazy about this, guys, is that, like, Ryan Garcia, like Donald Trump was literally saying all immigrants are criminals. He was saying they're vermin, they're poisoning the blood. Like, how did you vote for him and not know that he was going to just shit on every brown-skinned individual? He literally said it out in the open. That's crazy. Okay, co-founder of Latinas for Trump, Ileana Garcia, called the ICE raids unacceptable and inhumane, saying this is not what I voted for. She said, I stand with Congresswoman Salazar as the state senator who represents her district and the daughter of Cuban refugees who are now just as American, if not more so, than Stephen Miller. I am deeply disappointed by these actions, and I will not stand down. Again, he said he was going to do this. He was very clear. I want to put myself on the record. This is not what we voted for. I have always supported Trump through thick and thin. However, this is unacceptable and inhumane. I understand the importance of deporting criminal aliens, but what we are witnessing are arbitrary measures to hunt down people who are complying with their immigration hearings, in many cases with credible fear of persecution claims, all driven by a Miller-like desire to satisfy a self-fabricated deportation goal. This undermines a sense of fairness and justice that the American people value. Again, though, he said 20 million people. We know there are not 20 million undocumented. He talked about birthright citizenship. He talked about TPS and overturning naturalizations. He talked about all that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, man, dude, it's just really frustrating to see. Sorry, my chat blew up. Dude, Donald Trump, this shit is so fucking crazy. This immigration shit blew up the chat. You know what I'm saying? It's like he talked about all this stuff. And he was very clear, I think, about being ruthless. And what's more, we know he's a cheat, okay? We know he's a pussy grabbing, no consent, cheat on his business records, 34 felony counts. So we know the guy's not going to be above board, okay? We know it, right? This Latino Trump voter says he has logic, empathy, and reason, which is why he doesn't support the ICE raids. I'm a 41-year-old man with logic, empathy, and reason. I'm a Latino from Mexican parents, a Texas native, a Marine combat veteran, and a proud American. I voted for President Trump, and I don't support this. But like that to me is like crazy, right? That to me is crazy. Like, why? How did he vote for Trump and somehow just thought this wasn't fucking happening? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's crazy, dude. And then this guy, one Florida Trump voter lost 1/3 of his employees at his roofing company to ICE raids. Okay. Trump voter in Florida Keys says ICE detained 1/3 of his employees at small roofing company. Thought the administration was going to focus on deporting criminals, but seems immigration officials are just trying to meet quotas, right? So there he is, Billy Corbin, right? Trump voter, like, again, I don't know what he fucking thought was going on. Another Trump voter. I feel for this deportation issue and the way it's come about. None of these families deserve to be ripped apart, right? It's true. But again, you voted for this guy. Just because I voted for Trump doesn't mean I agree with every single political view he had. I got what I wanted out of my vote, right? I feel for this deportation issue and the way it's come about. Guys, chat. I would appreciate it if you just stopped talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just ignore it, okay? Like, I think the best way to get rid of that stuff is to just not fucking talk about it, all right? So like, you know what I'm saying? Just let it go, right? Don't give them the satisfaction. If you keep talking about it, it's just going to encourage more of that behavior. All right. We're going to fucking, YouTube's dealing with it. Let them do whatever they're doing, and we're just going to ignore it until they fucking go away. But yeah, so the thing is, though, with this one, I got what I wanted out of my vote. This is what I don't understand for this person. They say, I feel for this deportation issue and the way it's come about. None of these families deserve to be ripped apart like this. And don't come commenting your BS because I don't care to sit and read ignorance. But what I wonder is, yeah, Luke, what did they want? Like, what did they get out of their vote? Right? There's literally, he's been president for a couple of months. What have they gotten out of their vote? They haven't gotten anything, right? The stock market crashed. Their 401k went down if they have one. The crypto went in the tank, right? There's no trade deals. We got tariffs hiking up the prices of everything. Inflation hasn't gone down. Gas is still expensive. Like, what the fuck did they get? Like, I defy you to show me, like, what they got. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no idea what they got, right? Dude, Bitcoin is at an all-time high. Yeah, but it was at an all-time high before that. And, like, Bitcoin is always going to be at an all-time high. Like, you know, with the halving and shit, like, Bitcoin's a guarantee. It's, like, never going down. And if it does go down, it will eventually be at an all-time high. Like, it was at an all-time high in 2021. It was at an all-time high in 2023. It's going to be at an all-time high in 2025, right? And then, right, but that's more to do with the halving, right? And you know what I mean? And then it'll go down again, and then it'll rebound and hit an all-time high again, right? Yeah, dude, all the altcoins, everything but Bitcoin and Ethereum and like a couple of the others is in the shit and never coming back, right? All the other altcoins, the only altcoin that's going to do well now is the shit that Trump's fucking foreign investors are greasing, right? This person said, I honestly did not vote for deportation or any of that. I honestly did not vote for deportation or any of that. I voted, oh, this was the one we saw in the beginning. But again, right, if we look at this shit, right, look at this shit, right? You know, like, tell me they didn't fucking vote for deportations. Like, really? This was literally the number one fucking thing there. This was their whole, every rally was these signs. Mass deportations now. Mass deportation now. Vermin, right? Poisoning the blood. Asylum and jails and asylums and mental institutions and whatever, right? You know, I mean, I think some of it is, you know, some of it is in some of the Latino communities. A lot of people have trouble voting for a woman leader, right? Not, you know, you go down to Mexico and they don't, but I think some of the, you know how they always say that the immigrants that are come here that are Hispanic are all Democrats? I don't think that's true. I think it's actually a lot of the more conservative Latinos have come to America because of the conservative politics. I actually think there's quite a bit of the Hispanic people that have come from South and Central America that are conservative, that left, like they left Mexico because of the liberal, like, fucking ways there. And they've come to America for more conservative fucking harshness, you know? And which is why it's like, you know what I mean? It's why a lot of that shit about what they say is because a lot of them are deeply Catholic, okay? Deeply Catholic, you know? Right? This one says, at one point in the election, I remember wanting Trump to win. I wanted change. Regulation to immigration never crossed my mind. He would begin hunting down our people. Like, I don't get that. Although I was born here, my parents were immigrants. My mom is now a U.S. citizen. They made sacrifices to get us a better future. Latinos, it is okay to have wanted a change, maybe believing the lies. Voting for Trump is not the problem. The problem is you being okay with what he is doing. Being too egocentric to admit you regret voting for him and it being a disastrous choice. At this point, I really don't care about everyone has the right to their opinion, tearing families apart. Let's go, T-Mac. Good to see you, brother. Everyone has the right to their opinion, tearing families apart. Hunting hardworking immigrants is not an opinion, but a fact. If you are truly happy with your choice and happy you voted for Trump, I urge you, please delete me. I don't care you or your opinions. Yeah, see, some of this opinion stuff kind of does bother me a little bit, right? It does. You know what I'm saying? Because there's this idea that, like, ooh, like, I don't think civil rights is an opinion, right? Like, if you say, like, trans people shouldn't have any rights, that's not an opinion. That's automatically bigotry. You know? You know what I mean? Like, this idea, some things are just not opinions. Human rights is there's no opinion on that. This person said, I voted for Trump. I am conservative and I support most of what Trump is doing, but I have to say I do not support these Gestapo tactics of ICE. Yes, we need a secure border and we should know who is in our country, but I do not support these mass deportations, even though that was literally the fucking selling point of the entire campaign. This idiot person said they voted for Trump, but they don't support mass deportations. Yikes. Right? Gazpacho? Yeah. Oh, shit. Right? The idea of being here since grade school and you're being sent to a foreign country you don't know is not okay. I've said it once. I'll say it a million. I will again. I don't care where you came from. We all came from somewhere. These images of the National Guard in LA are terrifying. Is this America? You see, if they're allowed to do this, then when do they stop? At the same time, I don't think we should allow protesters to burn their city down either. Nobody's burned down a city, right? I also don't think it's practical to try and remove 10 million people from our workforce. It's a conundrum, I know. I wish they would stick to the people who are in prison, have committed violent crimes. Well, here's the problem, is they told you guys that that was millions, but that was like a handful. So you guys fucking fucked up, right? Anybody who believed Trump's lies after him lying about an election for 5 fucking years, and now you're like, oh, he wasn't lying, right? He lied about the election for fucking 5 years, but he wasn't lying about deportations, or he wasn't lying about the other shit. Like, come on, man. I just don't like to see soldiers policing Americans. And yes, Americans are being affected too. Crossing the border is illegal. We shouldn't allow a free pass. But those who haven't committed any other crime should have a way to stay. This isn't right, and I am losing support for Trump. Well, let me just say, you're a dumb fucker for supporting him in the first place. And yes, 0 cities burned down. Okay, I live in Portland. This is one of those cities that everybody says, right, that everybody says that fucking burned down or was on fire, and there's no burning down here. The city's never burned down. No one here has ever felt remotely unsafe, ever, right? Not remotely unsafe. You know what I mean? Not at all. Dude, such BS. All right, next up. What do we got here? Most of these are news articles. What is this? Oh, here's a video. All right.
More fallout from the cuts by Elon Musk and his Doge team. President Trump got more than 70% of the vote in Wood County, West Virginia last November. But some people who find their federal jobs in limbo now say they regret supporting him. Randy Kay has more.
Oh, yeah.
This flag used to hang there. This was the flag Jennifer Piggott proudly hung outside her home during campaign 2024.
We had the flag. I had the shirt. I was a MAGA junkie.
Yeah, and then she lost her job, and now she's like, oh, no more MAGA. But dude, like, really? Really? That's what they do, right? They're like, oh, I'm full MAGA, and then I got fired. Now we hate Trumpy. Dude, such
a MAGA
bullshit.
Junkie who thought her government job would be safe with Donald Trump in office. She was wrong.
I cried. It's scary, you know, it's a really scary thing. And I was embarrassed.
He's a good boy. Piggott was abruptly fired last month from the Treasury Department's Bureau of Fiscal Service, based here in Parkersburg, West Virginia.
Yeah.
The reason
West
given
Virginia.
for the firings of 125 probationary employees at the Bureau? Poor performance.
I had my last review on the 31st of January, and I had the highest rating that you can get on a review, less than 21 days before I was terminated for my performance.
You voted for Donald Trump.
I did.
Do you regret that vote?
Yes, I do. To cut the knees out of the working class Americans just doesn't make sense to me. I expected more from President Donald Trump.
Since speaking out, Piggott said...
But dude, he literally said, I'm gutting all the agencies. I'm firing everybody. Like, he said that. It's like, goddamn, bro. You know what I mean? We just read all those things where they're like, oh, I'm not a fan of deportations. It's like, what? That's what he said. You know what I'm saying? It's like he literally said, I'm gutting the agencies, all of them. And she's like, oh, but not me. Not me, Chinky.
It doesn't make sense to me. I expected more from President Donald Trump.
Since speaking out, 𝗙ģeť says she's received death threats and her home has been egged.
Jesus.
This woman asked us not to show her face for fear of retribution. She recently retired from the Bureau of Fiscal Service because she was afraid of losing her health insurance if she was fired.
You see that? You see that shit? How that's another thing right there where they can't even go on the news and show their face on camera for fear of death threats and retribution from the fucking Trumpies. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, crazy.
She also voted for Trump.
Would you still have supported him?
I'm not sure that I would have. The way that it's been done, I'm for balancing the budget, that type of thing, but not in this context. It's just not right.
Earlier this
Trump would never balance the budget. But just though, I saw what you said though, Brutus, where you said she looked so broken up in a house that most Americans could never afford. Like, I mean, not to downplay, she does own a house, which is good, or maybe she rents. We don't know. She rents or owns. But property in West Virginia, that house is probably worth like $40,000 or some shit, right? Yeah, no, I know, T-Mac. I know there was a lot of like no Kamala shit. Jill Stein certainly fucked shit up, even though Jill Stein was never doing shit. And even if Jill Stein won, she wouldn't have done shit. I don't care about caps. I don't have the caps issues, guys. Right? But I will say though, and I don't want to make excuses for these people, but I will say as somebody who grew up in a small town, there's a lot of pressure in those small towns to conform, okay? And so it's like, it's different. In a big city, we have the luxury where you can be whoever you want in a big city, and there's a whole bunch of people being whoever they want, and you can like live outside the conformity shit, right? But in small towns, your reputation and how you're accepted in that town is like everything. It's like a currency. And you can get ostracized by the community like real easy. And so a lot of people, I would suspect that there's actually a large number of people in these rural environments that fucking don't even believe in some of the shit they vote for. They're just trying to not get like ostracized in their tiny fucking worlds because they don't have anything else. It's like so depressing. The towns, they're so depressing. You live in a blue bubble? Yeah, no, absolutely. Fucking like Lawrence or some shit, Kansas, dude, they have those, right? Dude, it sucks, bro. The small towns, it's fucking, man, it's terrible.
This month, a federal judge ordered half a dozen federal agencies to immediately offer thousands of probationary employees their jobs back. But this week...
Let's go. All right, nice. Ready to take him outside? There's a little centipede. There he is. Yeah. Let's go. Keeping the spiders out of here. Good night, babe. All right, love you. Yeah. Centipedes, dude, they get rid of the spiders. Yeah, he's going outside. But if you have them, they're good. They keep the spiders at bay, right? Centipedes do. They do.
Earlier this month, a federal judge ordered half a dozen federal agencies to immediately offer thousands of probationary employees their jobs back. But this week, the Trump administration asked the Supreme Court to put that judge's ruling on hold and stop those employees from returning to work. Eric Engel is a representative for the National Treasury Employees Union.
They are fully reinstated, all 125 of them. They are on paid admin leave.
Now they're getting paid for not doing their job. So did the government really save any money here?
Not at all, no. That's not, I mean, I personally don't believe that was ever the point. But
dude, Trump he's never been good at saving money or being fiscally responsible. His dad gave him $400 million and he fucking lost it all, right? He's a con.
But, no, they're not saving any money from these probationary and trial period employee firings. This has nothing to do with eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse.
The Bureau of Fiscal Service employs more than 2,000 people here in Parkersburg. People we spoke with told us it's considered the place to work. Jobs at the Bureau are hard to come by, and people have always believed it was one of the most stable employers.
Dude, they want everybody. If you're in West Virginia, he wants your ass in a coal mine.
Rhonda Bragg is another probationary employee who was fired from the Bureau. She didn't vote for Trump because she feared something like this might happen.
A lot of people who voted for Donald Trump lost their jobs now. What do you think about that? What do you want to say to them?
You know, at first I wanted to say, when all this happens, you deserved it. At the same time, they're in the same spot that I am. And I honestly don't think any of us deserved it. It's not even $50,000 a year. You know, it's not that much money. I'm blue collar just like the rest of them in this valley.
In a statement regarding the reinstated employees, a spokesperson for the Treasury Department told us they are weighing how best to consider their performance, Treasury's operational needs, and the Trump administration's government-wide effort to increase efficiency.
Let me just tell you this, okay? The entire federal workforce, everybody, you ready, guys? Everybody in the federal government, all of the workforce in every federal job in the whole fucking country is less than 5% of the budget, okay? The military budget is almost 15% of the budget. So the military budget is 3 times as much as the entire federal workforce. So they could cut every government job and it wouldn't do as much as they could cut a third of the military and it would fucking accomplish the same shit. Like they've literally took the smallest part of the budget, okay? They have gone after the smallest part of the budgets. They don't care about the budget. No, they're going to blow up the deficit. They just want to harm. They just want to cause harm, right? They want to cause harm and they want to gut and fucking create chaos and decimate like every agency except the DHS and the DOD. That's it. Take care, radical. That's it. That's all they want to do. They want a military and they want the border, the ICE. And that's it. They want nothing else funded. Everything else they want to gut. And they just fund the militarization so they can lock us up in fucking work camps. And you know what I'm saying? That's it. They don't give a shit about anything else.
Come on, baby. That's hardly any consolation to Jennifer Piggott and her family.
If you could say anything to President Trump now, what would you say?
I expected better from you. I really did.
Dude, how? Like that? Like, dude, how? See, I kind of want to call bullshit because he said he grabs him by the pussy. He called it locker room talk. He's used name calling for everyone, poisoning the blood, Hitler speak, lying about sex changes at school, lying about the erection. Yeah, he lied about his erections too, but he lied about the election for years. He lied about everything, 30,000 lies in his first admin. Okay, he blew up the deficit, poor fiscal management, bungled COVID, started an insurrection, pardoned like crooks and rapists and shit. How the fuck cheated on every wife, overturned Roe v. Wade? How the fuck did this woman think he was going to do anything good? Like, no fucking way, man. There's just no way. If you looked at him after all of that water under the bridge and you thought he was going to do good, like, how? There's just no way. It's not believable. Like, what the fuck was she voting for?
I expected that you would do what was right and cut waste and fraud. And
you expected you would, the cheater, the insurrectionist, the liar, the fucking adulterer, the grab him by the pussy guy, the fucking crook. You expected he would do what was right. God damn, bro. That is some cognitive dissonance. You know what I'm saying? There's no fucking way, bro.
All of those things that you promised us before we elected you in office, but you're not doing that. You're creating
There's just no way, dude.
I don't know what America's going to look like if this continues.
Randy Kate joins us now. What's next for those federal employees?
Well, Anderson, they're really in limbo as they wait for their case and their reinstatement to be appealed. Since it is on appeal right now, they're not even sure if they're going to have a job to go back to. But in the meantime, the union rep we spoke with said that he believes these firings are actually illegal. He said that the Trump administration was required to give them 60 days notice, which he says they didn't. He also said that the firings were performance-based, and he said these people performed well, their conduct was excellent, and there was no reason to fire them.
Elon Musk and his merry band of government cost cutters speaking out in a group interview. The billionaire calling his mission.
See, dude, that shit, though, is fucking crazy, right? You know what I mean? Like, the cognitive dissonance there is fucking insane, bro. It is. It's insane that after all that, people thought he was going to somehow do good. Like, that I don't understand, guys. I just don't. Like, to me, that feels like you got to wonder why they were voting, because there's nothing about him that's ever been truthful. He's always been a bullshitter, a name caller, a grapist, right? And then people are like, no, I really expected him to do good. And it's like, how? How on earth did they expect him to do good? There's just no way, right? There's just no fucking way, man. You know what I mean? All right. We got to do a little hog watch. All right, we're going to go out with some hoggies. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into the TikTok For You page.
Yeah, please. Sir, yesterday you said that you were not sure who ordered the munitions halted to Ukraine. Have you since been able to figure that out?
Well, I haven't thought about it because we're looking at Ukraine right now and munitions, but I have not gone into it.
Dude, by the way, so Ukraine, there was money, munitions that were earmarked for Ukraine, and 𝗵𝗡 unilaterally didn't send it. Just whatever. Oh, all right. 𝗵𝗡 is just going to disobey fucking congressional rule. Congress makes those decisions, and then Trump gets asked about it. And he's like, "Oh, I don't know. I haven't looked into that. I don't even know what's going on." Dude, look at him. He looks like shit, bro. Dude, Shiloh, take care. He looks like shit. He looks like I don't think he's going to live through the term.
What does it say that such a big decision could be made inside your government without you knowing?
I would know. If a decision was made, I will know.
Oh, I would know. I will know if a decision was made. No, you didn't know, actually, Trumpy. That's actually it. A huge decision was made without you. You don't even fucking know. You don't even know what fucking day it is, bro. Right? This guy, he doesn't know shit, bro. He's not even running this shit.
I'll be the first to know. In fact, most likely I'd give the order, but I haven't done that yet. Yeah, please.
But I'll be most likely the first to give the order, but I haven't given the order, but somebody else gave the order, but I don't know who they were, but I would know because I know everything there is to know. Dude, what a dink, bro. Dude.
I have 100% got a lawsuit coming for me, and I 1,000% don't give a shit. Let me tell you what the hell just happened to me, all right? I went down to the home supply store. All right, you can take your pick. It's either blue or orange. You got a 50% chance of getting the shit right. And I went in there. I had to give me some 2-inch Deckmate T25 screws. I got a little project I'm working on at the house. I had to go in there and give me some fucking screws.
Dude, is this guy a fucking parody?
I don't understand why none of the conspiracy people never mentioned.
I like that guy.
I voted for Trump, and I'm sorry. I am uneducated. I grew up in public school system. I believed anything a teacher and a principal told me, and I didn't question it, and I walked in a straight line, and I didn't use critical thinking skills, okay? I didn't read Project 2025. I have a disabled child. I'm a single mom of 3. I believed what he said in his campaigns.
Dude, a single mom, disabled child. Fuck, bro. Dude, she just fucked herself. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God. Talk about somebody just pulling the pin on a hand grenade and leaving it at the fucking kitchen table. Like, I feel bad. Like, goddamn, bro. Like, she made a huge, terrible decision. Yeah, no, she's being honest, right? And if she converts to the resistance, I'll save this. We'll fucking keep an eye on her, all right? And monitor her. You're being monitored. I'm not slamming her because she's being honest about it, but I'm just thinking about the ramifications of her decision. You know what I mean? But here's what's hard though, guys. You ready? Listen to me. And you got to understand, this is my life, guys. Okay? My mom was this. My mom had 4 kids by the time she was 18. She didn't go to high school. My dad didn't go to school beyond the 8th grade. Okay? When you have parents that are uneducated, oftentimes they have kids that are uneducated, that grow up without any fucking, whatever. They don't find their shit. And so they get stuck on a treadmill of like bad decisions because they grow up around alcoholic parents who are just struggling to keep their head above water, totally uneducated. You know what I'm saying? And so the thing about this is, I don't know where she lives, but a lot of people in America don't have access to quality internet. Okay? You go to some of these rural places, they don't even have internet. They have churches, okay? They have churches and they have factories, and that's it. And they are like living a fucking bubble. You talk about bubbles. I mean, it's hard. Now, and I'm not making excuses for them, okay? But what I'm trying to relate is that it is possible for people. There are a lot of people that are not making good decisions in America because they are out of connection with like a lot of the world that many of us take for granted, right? And Magna, just so you know, that thing is fake, that I'd run as a Republican, the People magazine, that's not real. That's actually like propaganda. I mean, it's believable, but that never was in a People magazine, and that has been like Snopes like 1,000 times, okay? I mean, we know Donald Trump ran as a Republican because that was the only place that his racism could fit in, right? But I mean, some people are just, they don't have access to the same critical thinking skills that other people do, right? You know what I mean? Like, I did really well in school. I got rewarded by the teachers, which made me perform for my teachers, which got me a parental vibe. So then I got access to a lot of education that other kids, like, even think about me, right? I went to half my day in junior high. Then after lunch, I got on my bike and I went to a half a day in high school. Okay, so one kid in Wisconsin got a better education than every other kid in my junior high. My critical thinking skills, my education, by them allowing me to go to the high school for half a day, dude, I literally got a better education and got a better developed brain than everybody in my junior high, right? And so like, you know, that's part of the reason why later in 9th grade, what I did was I got my dad a job back in California to get us out of Wisconsin so I could go to UCLA, go to a California college where college was free. But like, if I hadn't gotten that educational opportunity, maybe I wouldn't have made that choice. Maybe I would have ended up getting hooked on drugs like a lot of the people in Watertown, Wisconsin. Like, so not everybody has access to the same shit. You know what I'm saying? And some people are out there, we're saying, goddamn, you need better critical thinking skills. But the hard thing is some of these people don't even have access to it. Like, they're growing up in towns where nobody in the town has good critical thinking skills. So how the fuck is she gonna get good critical thinking skills when even the teachers in her high school don't have them, right? Because they're all just fucking podunk wherever, right? I mean, we have a major fucking problem of like lack of critical thinking, and the schools aren't fixing it because these schools are underfunded and a lot of them are being staffed by people that don't even have good critical thinking skills. They're people who just want summers off, you know? And we don't put a lot of funds into those towns. So we got to really, like, I don't know how we fix this shit, guys. I'll be honest. But all right, let's hear what she has to say with the rest of it. All right.
I believed straight line, and I didn't use critical thinking skills, okay? I didn't read Project 2025. I have a disabled child. I'm a single mom of 3. I believed what he said in his campaigns, and I fucked up, and I'm sorry, okay? Now, we're wanting accountability across the board. It starts with the people like me that made a mistake. I'm admitting it. The first step to progressing in anything is admitting that there is a problem. There was a problem in my judgment. I did not do my due diligence in my research, and I voted in a system that I had not enough awareness and knowledge of until shit started hitting the fan. So if you come for me in the comments and you start all of this hatred, because what we have right now are the people that voted for Trump and that are hiding and that they don't agree, like me, like I was until I'm making this video right now. And then we have the people that didn't vote, and then we have the people that voted for someone else, okay? And then most of all, what we have are citizens of the United States, we the people, complaining that this administration needs to take accountability. We start by leading by example, okay? So if you come for me in the comments with hatred and resentment, because what you have is a resentment for the people that voted for this.
See, here's the thing. Like, I get that. And I think as much as she wants us to understand that she's fucked up and she's now being honest about it, she should expect a little resentment. Like, I think a little resentment should be allowed, that we want to see that she actually believes it and is not just because, you know, what's happening now is now there's a thing happening where people voted for Trump and then they're like, oh, but I really don't like all of Trump. So please invite me to Thanksgiving and please, like, be nice to me. Right? But then come 2028, they're going to fucking go vote for JD fucking Vance. Right? You know what I mean? Like, dude, that's some bullshit. So you do have to sort of understand that there's going to be a little resentment and you're going to have to work through that when you fuck up that bad. Okay? When you fuck up that bad to pick somebody that is that brutal, you might have a little backlash. You know, I mean, I want to give her the benefit of the doubt, but I'm going to watch her page over the time, you know?
That you're a part of the problem. Please accept my apology so we can unite, come together, and move on. All
right, so let's fucking look at this, though. Let's fucking look at her page real quick and see.
I voted for Trump, and I'm sorry. I am uneducated. I grew up in...
So let's see what she's done since then, right? So that was pretty recent, all right? And I mean, it doesn't look like...
I'm sorry. Countries with universal health care.
See, like, dude, it's crazy, though, right? Like 4 days ago, she was, like, posting about universal health care and, like, right? But she voted for Trump. I don't know, when I see some of this, I just wonder, right? Like, you know, did she literally just learn about universal health care? You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't somebody with a disabled kid absolutely be a fan of universal health care from the outset? I'm so distrustful, right? I am, because I feel like there's a lot of, I don't know, there's a lot of like a lot of fucking huckery going on.
So this one's very interesting. Apparently, if you cheat on your spouse, and this is a bill that's going to be passed.
I'm in the middle of a divorce, but...
You know what I mean? Like, dude, I just don't understand why anybody would vote for that guy. He was so toxic. You know? You'll fix her. You got a little crush, Luke? Luke's got a little crush. All right, we're going to keep an eye on it. Yeah, don't fucking vote for Trump. Dude, yeah, no, Americans, I mean, dude, America, we have a problem. We have a sense of entitlement, right? We do as Americans. We have a big sense of entitlement and a lack of awareness, right? We're really entitled and we're kind of lazy, and lazy to the point of not even being well informed. Look at this old guy, dude. Putting up, oh, is he taking it down? Oh, he took it down. I thought he was putting the sign up. All right.
There is no short way to tell you what I am about to tell you, to show you with the evidence that I have, to be an ethical content creator in a time where I think every American should see this speech from our Vice President, J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is a dangerous man.
Yeah,
with
no doubt.
Connections, and he sits in a position of power that is one heartbeat away from becoming the President of the United States. On July 5th, 2025, Vice President J.D. Vance was given a statesmanship award from an organization called...
So is there a J.D. Vance 𝗙𝗏𝗏 speech? Oh, that's a search topic.
I don't know how we're going to carry that.
All right, so here we're gonna watch this tomorrow, guys. All right, because I don't have time to watch a 34-minute speech, but we're gonna check out the J.D. Vance Claremont Institute speech, and we can talk a little bit about Claremont Institute. That's actually worth talking about. All right, we're gonna scope that out tomorrow. All right, so come back tomorrow. Make sure you come around tomorrow. We're going to fucking take a look at that.
My husband and I are getting a divorce, and it all started because it was my birthday, and I woke up, and he...
Stop! Internment camps are here, and we're still making bits about hypocrites being hypocritical. Watch us owning this MAGA person. Like, every time that I watch one of these bits,
Dude, I mean, I don't know what we're supposed to do, though. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, you are the finest Taco Bell worker I have ever seen.
You know what I'm saying? That's the situation we're in, guys. Where there's like, yeah, no, her eyebrows were on point for sure. I like those big eyebrows. But there is a fucking, like, we're in the situation where we're watching this train wreck every day, right? We're watching the immigration raids, the helicopters landing, the tear gas, the slamming teenage girls down to the ground, and the handcuffing of fucking people and all this abuse and fake charges levied against people, but like, we can't do anything. It's like every day we wake up and we watch multiple fucking automobile crashes right in front of us, and we literally can't do anything. And so that's, to me, that's the hardest part, is how to manage that feeling of powerlessness. I mean, I don't know if you guys relate to this, but like, dude, every day, I like am constantly having to like grapple with my own feelings of powerlessness, right? With this feeling of like, I just can't do anything about it. You know what I mean? But you got to maintain your fighting ability and your ability to withstand it and survive it. But without like that level of powerless normally builds into a rage that then explodes in some way, but you don't want to do that because that's counterproductive. I've actually started meditating again, and obviously we're doing dance party therapy here, and like my creative project is a huge part of my therapy. So I guess what I'm saying to you guys is, if you have that shit, like make sure you're channeling your stuff into things that are a little bit healthy too, and not just the booze and the Netflix and the whatever addictive, video games or whatever, right? You can do a little bit of that, but make sure you're channeling some of that energy into like some type of resistance that feels good to you, okay? Because I make videos, I'm working 12, 16 hours a day, but it feels good, right? It feels like I'm doing the right thing at the right time, and I'm being honest and genuine, and I feel like I'm making a difference even when I see all this shit and feel powerless. And so it's important for us.
You see this?
Yeah, I got one. Thank you.
Why on earth are religious groups so concerned about this? Have you ever wondered that? Well, the answer is that they really weren't until 19.
Yeah, well, you know what's funny about this thing, right? Why do religious groups care about abortion? And he's about to tell the story is if you look at this, they never cared about abortion, okay? And they didn't care about abortion even in 1973, right? They only cared about it when it became they realized, okay, that segregation wasn't going to be overturned. Okay, segregation got overturned. Then Jimmy Carter became president. He started the Department of Education, which was to guarantee civil rights in schools. So now there was no chance that they were going to return to segregation. The schools were protected. Okay. And then what happened was they didn't have an issue. And it began to dawn upon them that holy shit, we actually don't have an issue now. Segregation is over. We're not getting it back. Segregation used to be the galvanizing issue for the South and for the racist contingent in America. But now it wasn't. It was they were still racist, but they weren't going to be able to do anything with it. Okay? And then, in fact, abortion became their new sort of crusade, right? I feel like gay rights sort of piggybacked on that a little bit too.
1978. Did you know this? That in the 1970s, after Roe v. Wade became law in 1971, the Southern Baptist Convention, the most conservative evangelical group in the United States, passed 4 resolutions in favor of a person's right to choose. Did you know this? In the 1970s, the Southern Baptist Convention
they didn't give a
was in
shit
favor
about
of a person's right to choose. Here's what happened. When Brown v. Board of Education became law, which made it illegal to segregate schools, white folks, especially white folks in the South, began to put their children in private Christian schools. They were called segregation academies. And that way, their good little white children didn't have to learn with children of color. These were religious organizations with a 501c3 status. Eventually, that was ruled unconstitutional under the Nixon administration, and any school that was doing this would lose its 501c3 status. Now, there was this guy, his name was Paul Weyrich. You ever heard of him? He was a political strategist, and he was all in favor of using the segregation issue to get white, conservative, Southern evangelicals out to vote. When it turned out that segregation could no longer be the issue
they
to get
lost
those folks out to vote, he started looking for another issue.
There was.
He tried several, but in 1978, he came up with this plan to try the issue of abortion. And he identified 4 midterm elections. And he sent people out with pamphlets about abortion to pamphlet church parking lots.
Interesting.
And so they went to church parking lots.
So they did a test group to see if it affected the voting.
And in these close elections with Democratic incumbents and very conservative anti-reproductive health Republicans running in very low voter turnout races, that strategy worked. And in all 4 of those elections, those anti-reproductive health candidates won the election.
See, it's crazy because literally, guys, this is what they're doing with transgender people right now. It's what they've been doing in the last couple years. They started at the school boards and with local elections, and it's how they came up with the phrase men in women's sports, right? It became the thing that motivates their people to go out and vote and gives them a fervent, we have to beat the other side. Same shit they did, right? They went from segregation to abortion to gay rights to, right? You know what I'm saying? In the 90s, it was crime. In the early 2000s, it was about, national pride and against terrorism. right? And now it is like immigrants, right? And trans people. And right? And it's fucking, dude, it's brutal. But all it is a means to stir animosity and to get people to vote. This guy is Reverend Dr. 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗀. I don't know who he is. He's just a reverend.
One thing I've learned is that when you're the first...
Oh, Zoram! Let's go, baby!
One thing I've learned is that when you're the first Muslim elected official to ever run for mayor, people say some pretty wild things. For example, some folks on Twitter have convinced themselves that I'm hiding 2 secret children. I do not have any kids, much to my parents' disappointment. Or last Sunday when we held our first major campaign rally and we gave out these cool new bandanas, one former city council candidate said these were in fact, get this, hijabs. Who can blame her? After all, everyone knows the most critical components of an Islamic state are hot dogs, a pigeon, and a Metro card. I guess everyone had different takeaways from our rally. Here's mine. The movement we're building is unprecedented. And thanks to you, on the verge of winning this race on June 24th.
Dude, crazy. Dude, he does really well with fucking videos, right? He's sharp.
So, has anyone else heard of this new AI?
I'm Gen X.
And I'm Gen Z.
All right, what is this?
Rolodex.
I'm pretty sure I know what this is. It's for like phone numbers and stuff. It's contacts.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
Do you know the name of it?
Rolodex.
Yeah, Rolodex, right?
Rolodex. Yeah, there you go.
Very nice.
What are these?
Those are...
it looks like a candy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, good.
Jujubes.
Is birth in the name?
No, but you're not off either. They're like softs.
Yeah.
Soft on the outside, a little liquid on the inside.
Right.
They were like in every Lunchable.
Dude,
and
Gushers
so
is what they're
maybe
called? All right.
healthier.
Yeah, that guy's Gen X. Yeah, you can tell by the gray hair, right? And the skin is fucking all like wrinkled. He's like a young Gen X guy.
Gushers.
Gushers.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Totally. Who is that?
Nirvana.
Or maybe I should say, who are they?
I'm guessing some type of band.
They are a
Dude,
band, that's
guessing some type of band. That's so funny, bro. He doesn't know Nirvana. Like, what world are we in, boss? That's crazy.
Can I guess rock and roll music?
That's a great guess.
Yeah, I'm not going to get any.
The blonde fellow is no longer with us. The other fella in the front with
this guy ran for office in Washington.
the long hair is still one of the biggest.
I went to a party where a guy was making jokes about non-consensual intercourse.
Oh my God.
And he said, "What's the difference between yes and no?" And then he said, "Nothing." And I said, "Can I punch you in the face?" And he said, "No." But apparently there wasn't a difference. So that's the story of how I broke someone's nose in college. I went to a party.
Dude! Oh, that's a great story. What's the difference between yes and no? Nothing. She's like, "Can I punch you in the face?" No. Smack. Right? Right? Oh, beautiful. Fucking beautiful. Good story. That was good. That one got me going.
And his people.
All right, here we go.
So this message goes out to Donald Trump and his people. And I don't mean his supporters. I mean his staff. I've been asked before, what would it take for you to not support Donald Trump anymore? I always said, well, it'd take a lot. I've literally made thousands of videos on this app supporting you, sir. Thousands. So if you're deciding that Epstein is the bridge that you're going to burn, I got the match, sir. Let's do it.
Oh, shit, dude. Homie's mad about Epstein, right? Homie's spitting about Epstein, dude. He is, but bro, dude, like, we know Trumpy and Epstein were like besties. Dude, again, how do you vote for the fucking Epstein bestie, right?
You're telling me there's no list after you told me there was a list. You're telling me that you don't care about these victims. You don't care.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he said he grabs him by the pussy and doesn't even ask. So are you surprised there, homie? I mean, I appreciate you having a come to Jesus moment and you're getting your head straight and you're getting over the Trump thing. But goddamn, bro, when he said he grabs him by the pussy and he doesn't even ask, and the guy, Alex Acosta, who let Epstein off, gave him immunity, and he makes him his labor secretary, like, bro, the writing was on the fucking wall, homie. Like, hello? The man told you he was a rapist, and you're like, oh, now he's not supporting the Epstein victims. It's like, no fucking shit, bro. Dude.
What you're telling me. This is a promise you made to the American people, sir. Non-negotiable.
Dude, this guy is cracking me up, dude. This is like some kind of hillbilly justice that's happening, but good for him. All right, I'm happy you're fucking finding the hillbilly justice. Hold on, we're gonna look at this guy's page though, because he did say that he's made thousands of videos for Trump.
So this
So
message.
I want to see. Did he really? Was this guy really a solid Trumper?
So let me paint y'all a picture. A duly elected president of the United States simply questions another country about whether there's some wrongdoing going on. Yes, ma'am, you're... Next time you want... So for all you people who keep telling me over and over, oh, Donald Trump is a liar, he's a liar. Well, he may be. He may be. I ain't going to argue that anymore, okay? That ship has sailed. But I wish I could be a fly in the room as you uncover each one of the lies that your people have told you since 2015. One by one. I wish I could see the look on your face every single time. You know, like this latest one where the, I don't know who he is, the guy that takes care of the polls for the Democratic Party, the insider inside the Kamala Harris camp, just recently said...
Dude, he is a Trumpy. He says Kamala Harris. He doesn't say her name right.
So an alien lands at a farm.
Dude.
We're currently on the 118th Congress.
Dude,
So watching the left panic over this tariff threat is kind of...
Dude, he was a
Trumpy. I saw a
Trumpy.
speech where Kamala Harris finally came out of hiding and talked about the election results a little bit. Obviously impaired. She actually bragged about the $1.2 billion.
Dude, what? Oh my God, what the fuck was that, bro?
Just a quick reminder, the people in charge of the conflict we're about to have.
This construction right now.
All right.
So on this next little short video, I'm going to show you guys.
Dude, so he was a Trumpy. He's like, Trump may be a liar, but I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Oh, he may be a liar, but he ain't that Kamala Harris impaired woman. Dude, what the fuck? But now though, dude, now he's fucking out for blood, dude. He is out for blood.
You, of all people, should have known this. You've always been in tune with your supporters. Always. 100% spot on. Not this time, sir. You missed this one. Non-negotiable. Got it?
Oh, shit, bro. Oh, my God, dude. Well, I mean, this is what's crazy, though, is the fracture, right? Like, I think Trump, the H-1B visas was a little fracture. The Doge was a little fracture. This guy now, Epstein's going to be a fracture. I mean, Trump ultimately probably doesn't care too much because he knows he's done anyway. Like, he's just trying to get his now, right? He's going to gut the government, attack his enemies, have retribution for 4 years, and then he's going to go fucking make billions of dollars in the Middle East with all the money he's looting from people, right? He's going to just loot and fucking walk out of it with like crazy amounts of money, right? But you know, maybe in the midterms, this will fucking help some of this shit. Because this guy is obviously actually livid.
I don't cry very often and very little embarrasses me. But I just had one of the most mortifying and memorable experiences in my life. I bought a dress. I'm getting married in September.
Because you can't hook copper into fiber. It doesn't work that way. You just can't do it.
You can't hook copper into fiber. Thank you, Trump, for saying some fucking word salad that fucking doesn't mean shit. Right? He's copper into fiber internet. Oh, shit. He's going internet realm.
He's
the reason why I understand how messed up.
But so just to clarify, you believe that this is in the Bible. This is laid out in the Bible that man shall not sleep with man, and so therefore...
Well, it's also repeated throughout the New Testament as well. In the book of Matthew, Jesus reaffirms the biblical standard for marriage.
Okay, so I'm going to make two very, very quick points. So the first, so if we look at the Old Testament in isolation, just to start off with, as an example. So let's look at Exodus 35:2, which suggests that if you work on the Sabbath, you should be put to death. If you look at Leviticus 11:7, it suggests that if you have pork, you should be put to death. Let me finish.
See, now, what's crazy about this, I love this kid, what he's doing right here, because it's so accurate. There are very severe things in the Bible about adultery, right? About working on the Sabbath, about how to raise your kids, right? About sexual behavior, and right? There's a lot of shit in there. The food you eat, and all of that gets ignored. Like, man, they cherry pick the Bible savagely, bro. Working on the Sabbath is literally like doomsday in the Bible. It is the ultimate affront to God. And yet, every Sunday, you can go out and watch NFL players like fucking doing their shit, and they work on the Sabbath every fucking day. It's the only day they work. And their glorification of their massive egos, and they're worshiped like fucking gods on Sunday in these huge stadiums. And they're the whole time they're like, praise be. Oh. And it's like, bro, if there was a God, all of them are getting pitched into the lake of fire. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
If you plant two crops side by side, you should be stoned by your entire village. If you wear a suit, which you are wearing now, that contains two different fibers intertwined into the same jacket, you should be burnt at the stake by your own mother. Now, following that rationale, in Leviticus 18:22, and it states that man shall not sleep with man, why aren't we burning ourselves at the stake as well? Why aren't we stoning ourselves to death?
Yeah, why? Because they have picked one issue and they've rewritten their whole gospel to win ground on fucking socially. And because they're all closeted sex fucking weirdos too. You know what I mean?
Do you care to address my main contention that Christ affirmed biblical marriage in the book of Matthew? And can you tell me the difference between the ceremonial, the moral, and the ritual law? And then finally, also, tell me about Christianity, the difference between the new and the old covenant, or are you just going to cherry pick certain verses of ancient Israel that do not apply to new Christianity?
No, fair. I completely agree. So we'll look at 2 points then. So firstly, if we look at the Old Testament, we can see the kind of inconsistencies there. We've already touched upon that, right? That makes sense. Secondly, you mentioned the point of Jesus and Christ. He never mentioned anything to do with homosexuality at all.
Well, hold on a second. No, he affirmed biblical marriage as one man and one woman. He said
yeah, but again, so even if he affirmed biblical marriage as one man and one woman, that means there's a whole bunch of non-biblical marriages to be had there, Charlie. But you see that shit though? Charlie says you're cherry picking. Dude, he always does that. He turns into a little bitch boy when he gets fucking shown up. Right?
Man shall leave his
Romans,
father's
right?
house.
In the New Testament.
No, in Matthew, that is not correct. I believe
in the New Testament.
In the New Testament, well, Romans is also in the New Testament. Secondly, in Romans 1, the Apostle Paul talks negatively about homosexuality explicitly. Also, homosexuality is repeated in the book of Titus and in the book of Jude as not being favorable as the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Well, first off, homosexuality wasn't even a word until like the 1870s or whatever.
Even talking about the Old Testament verses. There are 3 types of the 613 Levitical laws, and you know, of course, in your own way, cherry pick some of them. We do not live under the ceremonial, we do not live under the ritual, but we do live under the moral. There's only 10 of the moral that we as Christians believe we're bound to. Some believe 9, which of course is the Decalogue. And so none of those that you mentioned we as Christians believe that we live under. However, we do look at what Christ articulated as the biblical standard of marriage. And we can also look to church tradition for this as well. And the church has had a tradition for well over 2,000 years. Even myself as a Protestant acknowledges that tradition is marriage between one man and one woman.
And fair point. But, okay, say we put aside the Old Testament for now. We'll put that aside and the inconsistencies there, and we'll look purely at the New Testament following your rationale, okay? Now, when you say that Christ lays specifically, and the New Testament states specifically that man shall not sleep with man, I'd like to point out a linguistic error on that point.
I did not say that. I said the biblical marriage was affirmed, and then Romans 1 did talk negatively about the action of homosexuality.
But ultimately, that affirmation comes from lines in there that suggest that man shall not sleep with man.
Yes, of course, yes. The Old Testament and New Testament harmonize one another, but Christ brought it to a different level, a different covenant, and a different moral teaching. It
Dude, these guys, like Charlie Kirk is such a smarmy motherfucker.
Enough to say that you shall, man shall strike eye for eye, so that you shall turn the other cheek, that you shall love your enemy. Christ's moral standard was much more even elevated than that of the Israelites and the Hebrews.
Yeah, see, they had a time limit, right? So they had to, because there were like 10 people, so each person had set number of minutes.
Ask you whose Bible, okay? Now, your Bible that you use currently is written in the English language, right? Correct?
Yeah, the King James Version, yes, thanks to Tyndale.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's written in the English language, which in itself is only, say, 500 years old. Now, but the Christianity in itself, say, is 2,000 years old or even older, yeah? Correct? Now, which means that the Bible was originally written not in English, but in ancient
Koine Greek.
Huh?
In Koine Greek.
Yeah, correct. Now, if we look at the Greek terminology of man...
Yes, and Jesus spoke Aramaic. You could translate things. You acknowledge that.
Well, we translate things, but translations are linguistically ambiguous. As a former classicist, I know that language can't be translated directly. So, for example, if we look at the translation of certain words into man... So I've got two words here. So I've got malakoi, which means essentially soft, which isn't necessarily directly saying a gay man. And then we've got, oh God, how do I say that? 𝗙𝗙𝗃𝗍𝗽, which essentially means prostitutes. Now, if we look at things linguistically, we can pick apart the Bible and say that actually it wasn't saying man shall not sleep with man, it's saying man shall not sleep with prostitutes, which is an entirely different linguistic thing.
I'm not even getting into Leviticus, though.
But no,
my contention is completely...
Dude, this is not Leviticus, right? Dude, it's crazy, right? The fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Testament focused.
This isn't Leviticus.
Well, but you said man shall not speak another man. So you're talking about Romans 1.
Well, okay, these words are used throughout the
Right, well,
Bible,
actually, in Romans 1, it was actually women sleeping with women. So you got your verses wrong. In Romans 1, Paul is prophesying about the end of the world. And he's saying that in the end times, woman...
Dude, it's fucking exhausting listening to fucking Charlie Kirk. Because there's no, right? There's no fucking way around this, guys. You know what I'm saying? There isn't. There's no, like, here's one of the problems with debates is because we can watch the debates, but like Charlie Kirk, right? That he, even if you show him he lost, he's just going to like drop an insult and then fucking move on, right? Like this guy, I mean, there are a lot of scholars on TikTok who talk about the Aramaic, which is the language that was back then, because if you look at the Bible, you ready for this? The Bible is not even a legitimate book. You know why, guys? Because first off, the Bible isn't even a singular text, okay? The stories in the Bible were spoken word, okay? They were spoken word. Nobody wrote. None of this shit wrote down. People passed along spoken word tales for like thousands of years about shit. And then eventually, over like 1,000 years, they compiled them into this work that they called the Bible. And then the Bible got translated a dozen times after that, all the way up to the King James and all these other versions. So the shit that is in the Bible is like 100 fucking like regurgitations down from whatever those original stories even were. It is the most unreliable text that goes back and forth over itself. Like you can see it. It'll say one thing in one spot and then flip-flop in the next. And then it says it means this. And then, you know, in the New Testament, it says that and this, that, and the other. And the whole thing is just a fucking conglomeration of like political movements and cultural movements and social movements and patriarchy and capitalism, you know what I'm saying? And then these people then take it and try to, you know, the King James version is very different than the actual Aramaic words, right? Like a lot of this shit was about, you know, about like not sleeping with young children, and the King James version turned it into not having gay sex, right? It's like when in fact, at the time the Bible was around, okay, in the early Roman Empire, everybody was having fucking gay sex. It wasn't even gay sex. It was just normal sex, right? Like the Roman army was all banging each other, bro. It was like a sign of manhood to be having sex with other men, as long as the person being penetrated was a lower social class. They only had a social class thing, right? The only law of sexuality in the Roman times was that the guy doing the penetrating needed to be a higher social class, okay? So you couldn't have like a serf penetrating an officer. That was a big no-no, right? But other than that, dude, there was no such thing as gay sex, right? But they're literally like fucking rewriting this shit, bro. It's like so crazy.
Will like with woman like, and man will, I think it might say man will like, men like. You have to get the verses specifically, but it is agreed upon, and you can agree. This is why tradition is important, and I even say this as a Protestant, is that we believe that Scripture is very important, but also look to tradition. Church tradition has had an unbroken chain affirming matrimony.
See, again, there he goes. He's like, yeah, we believe in Scripture, but what we really believe is our own rules that we've made up, right, that we call tradition, which is a way to try and keep you entrenched in hundreds of years ago because we want to prevent society from evolving. Because why? Because the Scripture tells us we're special and we're friends with the guy who created you, so you don't get to say anything while we control you. It's like, fuck these guys, bro. Seriously.
Holy matrimony being one man, one woman.
Holy matrimony, dude. Fuck off with your fucking matrimony.
Lady in 12C, if she would switch seats with me because I'm
listening to Ezra Klein.
If you're wondering why all the
listening to Ezra Klein explain why Zohran Mamdani won the Democratic primary election is like listening to white people describe or explain slang.
Dude, I hear you, bro. Dude, that I did a video, if you guys haven't seen it, on Ezra Klein and Chris Hayes talking about Zohran. It's fucking hilarious. Go watch the video. It's good shit. Dude, those guys don't get it. They were talking about the lighting in his videos. It's like, no, homie's got some policies.
If you're wondering why all the gay...
Yesterday's exchange with Trump shocked and angered me. I never thought I would be insulted.
Oh, yeah. Do you see this? The Liberian president who's like, how do you speak English so well? And it's like, Trump, you dumb fuck. Like, English is the language of Liberia, right? Dude, and Trump is like, oh, you're black, you're from Liberia? How do you speak English? It's like, goddamn, he is dumb, dude. He's just fucking dumb.
Like this in an international setting.
Dude, how can you be so dumb and arrogant?
Ma'am, you don't need to tell baristas that I'm an asshole because I have an opinion. Get your drink and go away. I can have an opinion like everybody else. Why are you entitled to an opinion and not me? You want
to... Dude, oh, somebody told her that she was an asshole TikToker? I think she was right.
Don't allow for
As a dermatologist,
friendly reminder, countries that are ruled by kings don't allow for rallies to be called No King's Day.
Oh my God. Dude, what an idiot, bro. Jesus. Oh, friendly reminder. Because you were able to have a no kings protest, therefore we don't have a king. Oh, yeah, that's good reasoning.
Friendly reminder, you don't actually need a seatbelt until after you get into the accident.
Dude.
Everyone is talking about this man who's showing how to get money back from your insurance company.
So what we're talking about now is
I met a literal Nazi yesterday at a pastry shop in Boca.
There was one report that said it was multiple affairs. Do you care to say anything about that?
You know, I think those are questions Bill needs to answer.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
There was one report that said it was multiple affairs. Do you care to say anything about that?
You know, I think those are questions Bill needs to answer.
Okay.
Yeah, Bill Gates, we know he was fucking around in Trump land. Dude, Bill Clinton, Donnie Trump. Dude, all of them we should fucking toss, bro. Right? All of them. Yeah, Trump with all right, let's look at Trump with the fucking Liberian president. Here we go.
Liberia's a longtime friend. Liberia's a longtime friend of the United States. And we believe in your policy of making America great again. And we also go a long way with you, in your diplomacy that has to do with economic development and commercial friendship. And we just want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you. And such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
Yes, sir.
In Liberia.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very interesting. It's beautiful English.
God.
I have people at this table can't speak nearly as well. And
Dude, and he like doesn't even understand that they fucking speak English there. And he's all like, wow, so impressive how you growing up in a country that uses the English language and yet you can speak it. You, the president of the country that speaks English. Like he's so, what a fucking clown. He's so arrogant, bro. He's dumb and arrogant and, you know, condescending. Jesus. All right, 2 minutes.
These are some rules that my boyfriend has for me.
Has anyone told
Dude, that's where we fucking leave the TikTok, right? You see the line she said? These are some rules my boyfriend has for me. End of story. Sorry, like you need a new boyfriend. Your boyfriend has rules for you? Fuck off.
Right now, SNAP work requirements are being enforced. I cannot tell you how extremely difficult it is to prove that my clients have disabilities. For example, they won't take like a signed letter from me stating that we are working on getting them SSDI, you know, the government stamp of they definitely have a disability. They won't take that. They won't take a doctor's note. The only thing that they will take is the Franklin County employability form. I just screenshotted.
Oh, look at this. See? This woman is unloading about the issue. You see what she said right here? She said already Ohio is making it so you can't get SNAP benefits without the work requirements. But then did you see how a note from the doctor or like the physical therapist giving them information? Nope. You've got to get a Franklin County employability form. So you got to travel to wherever in Franklin County you can get this fucking form. See? That's what they do. It's like a system of making it, you need to have this shit that's going to be nearly impossible for some people to get if they're disabled and can't drive to the county seat to get the Franklin County employability form.
Like a little bit of it up there, but basically this is the only form that they will take. You have to call in. It's not on their website. You have to call.
Thank you, Luke. Let's go. Appreciate you, boss. That is some BS.
And try and get a hold of somebody from work activity, but normally work activity never answers. So instead you have to get a case representative, be on hold.
So you have to call in to get people from the work activity and then they never answer.
For 3 hours and then have them fax it over. Pray to sweet baby Jesus that their fax
machine. Oh, and they got to fax it, right? So now you got to have a fax machine.
Isn't broken. And then you have to give this to their doctor and you have to tell the doctor how to send in the forms because you have to make sure that the person's date of birth and social security number are on those forms. Otherwise, it won't be applied to their account.
Yeah, you see that? Again, they just make it so 1 out of 10 is going to be able to complete this shit.
It's kind of funny how I haven't seen one single illegal alien headed down to Texas to help out disaster victims. That should tell you everything you need to know about them.
Dude, what a fucking dink, bro. This guy, is he a parody? Oh, it is. No, it's Steve Loves Ammo. What an idiot. He said one illegal. This guy, I see this guy on Twitter. This guy is a fucking dink. But he says, I haven't seen one illegal going to help people in Texas with the disaster. Like, no shit, bro. Because what? They'd end up in alligator Alcatraz. You fucking white trash fucking clown, bro. Jesus. Like, this guy is such an idiot, bro. Such an idiot.
So 2 weeks ago, I posted.
Oh, I like her. Slay the GOP. She's good.
Just a reminder that religion is a lie used to control the masses, and that Jesus Christ was trying to teach you that the universe is within yourself and that you are a physical manifestation of the universe and you just needed to achieve a higher level of consciousness. But a couple men with fragile egos didn't want you to know that, so they took his teachings and manipulated it around and convinced you to give 10% of your income indefinitely, and that you are a sinner and that you're going to be going to hell unless you follow all of their rules that they made up.
That are conveniently telling all the women that you're a rib and you need to obey the guy. Dude, I love this chick. Dude, let's go. Followed. Dude, she just nailed it, bro. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Dude, Jesus would be flipping tables. Dude, I bet Jesus would have hung out with Buddha, right? With the Buddha, I bet I bet, like, if you look at Jesus's teachings, right? If you really look at the message, it's not that much different than Buddha, which doesn't even have a deity, where it's just about harmony. It's about achieving harmony, right? With the planet. Who is she? She's just Becca Bag of Donuts is what her name is.
If you're missing 5 or more teeth.
All right, thank you.
Good afternoon, America. The big, beautiful bill was signed, and we as Americans have just been given the largest tax cuts.
I wasn't going to step up on your video this morning. You just couldn't help out. But I'm going to have to do that. We're not going to help out anybody. Y'all been living on food stamps, EBT, Section 8 housing your entire freaking life. And you're not going to do it anymore.
Dude, what the fuck is this, dude? Fucking white trash. Fucking plane crash, bro. Jesus.
If you can work, you're an able-bodied person, go get a job. I'm tired of paying for it. And you, ma'am, probably are on Social Security, so you'll get the help you need. Have the day you deserve.
Jesus, dude. What the fuck?
For God's sakes, Travis County, help us. Don't treat us like we're nothing out here, because we're not. We're human.
Oh, look at her now. Now that a little natural disaster hits, now all of a sudden she's like, I need help. I need a handout. But you don't get handouts. You're an old person. You can die in a ditch. Fuck you. But now she's like, oh, help me. Help me. Help me. Oh, help me. Oh, help me, Trumpy. Dude, fucking clowns, bro.
We pay taxes out here. Don't treat us like this.
Dude, oh my God, bro. Dude, fucking crazy. That shit is wild, bro. Dude, yeah. Oh my Lord. Lord, have mercy on your fucking soul. Shit, bootstrap it. Oh my God. Dude, Tony, let's go, baby. Appreciate the poop sticker. Love it. It's like, is that like thinking
Take
poop?
your business from.
So, that video got like, oh.
Stop putting this off. Is this?
Just thinking about the time that I showed a therapist a picture of the.
So, real talk. I may need a side.
A former MSNBC host just publicly accused Donald Trump of kidnapping people and transporting them to concentration camps. I'm going to play you the whole video because they tried to attack her position, but she fought them off. She stood her ground.
Challenge I have with even talking about this, we are normalizing a government agency disappearing people. We are normalizing, we're talking about it like it's no big deal that they are kidnapping people and transporting them to concentration camps, both domestic and foreign. I think that's kind of insulting to, I think it's Jewish insulting what they're doing. It is not insulting.
Dude, it has nothing to do with Jewish Holocaust. We're talking about guys with masks, with cars with no license plates, and they roll into a Home Depot parking lot or a Walmart or a farm, and they just start grabbing people willy-nilly. Sometimes they're American citizens, and they ship them to, say, a foreign prison in El Salvador for life, or they put them in a camp in Louisiana, don't tell people where they are. Like, who is this bitch who wants to talk about the Holocaust? Has nothing to do with the goddamn Holocaust. Okay, we're not talking about the Holocaust.
I find it insulting that you could even fix your mouth to defend this disgusting behavior. It's not a death.
Dude, like, she's like, are there gas ovens? Dude, no. But we're not talking about the Holocaust. Where nobody said, like, oh my God, this is so much worse than what the Holocaust victims went through. Nobody said that. But simply because he's not pitching them into gas ovens doesn't mean we act like this shit is normal, right? Do we have to literally see them decapitate these people? I mean, what the fuck, bro? Like, come on, he talked about feeding them to alligators, for Christ's sake. And yes, what Lila said, the Holocaust started like this. They didn't start with gas ovens. They started with home raids. They started with burning down the transgender center. They started with jailing gay and trans people. Right? They started with separating families. They started with whisking people off to be questioned by the government. Okay? That's where they started. They ended up with the fucking ovens. All right. Thank you for that. Yes. Trying to get them to self-deport. Yes. They started by just asking to deport. Get out of the country. Right? Man, dude.
It doesn't matter. It's a concentration camp what they're doing, and they are disappearing people, claiming that these are people who have committed the most harsh crimes. But according to the reporting, less than 10% of these people have committed harsh crimes.
Just think about how bad it has to be to see these kinds of allegations on the evening news. Former MS.
No, I mean, the fact that they're talking about it on the news is good. But Natalie, I'll watch the Walmart thing tomorrow. But we will fucking I gotta go. I'm 15 minutes over. I normally go like an hour over, but I gotta restrain. I gotta keep it fucking right. I gotta keep it manageable. All right. Yeah, no. I gotta go edit videos. Dude, we're gonna have some good fucking shit tonight though. Holy shit, bro. Good videos tomorrow. Ooh, ow, 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 ow. Six hearts, hope I'm okay. You're alright. Goodbye then, if you dare. Someone new is pulling everywhere. I'm afraid to let them. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Let's go. Nothing is what I think. Yeah. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Thank you guys. It's fucking truly magical, baby. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. Nothing is what I think. Yeah. 'Cause I will drown in pain. Oh. Let's go, baby! Fucking love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna go out with a little bit of red. Red, who's your lover now? Red, who's it all about?